Hello, everybody.
Hello,
We are live with
and on time.
definitely.
Yes.
Always on time.
With book 3, episode 2 of Avatar Legends. We'll see how this goes. So it's been a bit. Who wants to recap for us while I make sure everything is good on the stream?
Pai-Sho.
Yeah,
They
we're
run
we're all
the island where Pai-Sho is the law.
we're all playing Bloodsport Pai-Sho on a tropical island ruled over
Yeah.
by a crazy inventor.
It's the same crazy inventor we've been dealing with this whole time. We have not introduced new twists or turns of the plot. Crazy inventor Pai-Sho tournament, 5 days. We are now the morning of day 2 is where we're going to be starting. It's not
Did we ever establish what the winner actually gets?
glory.
Okay, this is purely just bragging rights.
Yeah,
Not
Bloodsport
purely, but
Pai-Sho,
like
for the sake of
whatever it
the
is.
Bloodsport Pai-Sho.
whatever it is, I doubt that it will be freely shared by the winner if it happens to be one of us.
It's gonna be Dama.
Yep. And he's not sharing. He's going to
Not
invest it
sharing.
all in his new Pai-Sho casino.
Ooh, this is how we're building the chateau. This is what the
There's a grand prize of however many schmeckles or whatever they use in Avatar.
Yeah, however much money it takes to build the thing I want.
Yep. Perfect.
It's a great amount of prize money to be to assign myself.
Yep. Okay. What else? What happened last session? We played Pai-Sho.
We met the wolf baby. I do believe the wolf baby has become an integral part of the storyline.
There was a 4-year-old child who was raised by wolves and found by people playing Pai-Sho at a master's level.
Mhm.
With the
Six?
wolves.
No, when he was 4, he was found. Now I think he's around 6.
Yeah.
But wasn't it his wolf parents were killed, and that's who he's trying to avenge?
Yeah, yes,
his
wolf
human
parents.
Yep, by poachers.
Yeah. His wolf parents who taught him Pai-Sho.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we picked off the mob a bit.
We
you
one
made
of us.
We is a
ticked-
very
yeah.
liberal term you're using there.
We made the mob upset.
The royal we may have ticked off the mob.
Aeon made the mob upset, and Aeon's
Mhm.
mom also secretly very good at Pai-Sho.
She's joining us to help save Sato's kid. It's no problems.
Which is the actual
Yeah.
reason,
No problems at
real reason
all.
we're here. Not to win the tournament, but to
Oh, yeah,
save
there
one
was
of
a
our
subplot.
characters' kidnapped
There's a subplot.
children.
Yeah, illegitimate
Stop.
son. Yes.
The subplot to the tournament arc. We gotta save the child.
We just learned
We
about
have-
that he exists, and he's already been kidnapped.
Bored as a MacGuffin.
Everyone's in disguise
Mhm.
except for Dama.
Except for Dama, because
right?
he was invited personally.
And I know. Last session, I changed my ward to Aeon because Aeon has trouble with the mob, and Kuiwa could handle herself. I said before she got locked up.
Oh, right! I forgot about that. Kui was like, I can handle myself. It's fine. Proceeds to roll a 5 when I have a +3 to the roll.
I
And
have
immediately
a
gets thrown
question.
into a holding cell, I think. Something like that. Yes.
Are we all on the...
Yes. We are now seeing what you intend us to be seeing, I think.
Okay.
That's
What
that
is
map
this?
was named Shh for a reason.
What is...
Guys, get
Oh,
out of my
okay.
trophy room.
What is this?
I have to show it
It's
off on
Cabbage
stream.
Legends, the role-playing game. What do you think it is?
This is a nightmare.
Guys, how'd you guess the code?
Oh.
Alright, cool.
This is what happens when I'm bored and trying to think through a problem. I just put together stupid shit like this, so my mind
no,
does
we needed
something else.
Cabbage Legends. I thought I could use it as a cool, like, Pai-Sho battle mat or something. Nope, it's
Cabbage
um,
Legends.
Already occupied.
oh, cool, we got tokens for nonsense people.
Yep.
Oh, who made Stoneface mad? That's another important character we
I
met.
don't know if
Stoneface.
That was
mad?
Quiwa.
I didn't know if I made him mad, but he like the last scene of last session was him or them appearing outside of my cell, out of character. I don't see them because it's like through the door, unless it's just a door of bars. But yeah, Quiwa got
Right,
tossed
you
in
ended
there.
up beating them the first time by accusing them of cheating, which they did not do.
I didn't accuse them of cheating. I tried to
Oh,
sort of
no.
get them off of their game and try to like psychologically get them to tilt a bit. Is what I believe
You have
happened.
forward with
Rocky
them,
is the
right?
one
Plus
who
one.
keeps,
I do have +1 forward against them. Yes, I have that written down. I also have +1 forward against the. Oh no, my notes say they are currently 4 years old. They must have been found playing Pai-Sho when they were 2. But the
Yeah,
4-year-old
some
raised by Pai-Sho
normal
wolves,
number.
Stoneface, and the 4-year-old raised by Pai-Sho wolves are my 2 +1 forwards. I also have +1 ongoing about distracting or getting through the guards or utilizing my tutor info. I still, even with that, failed the roll last session.
Yeah.
Before we start, I have to ask questions to Aeon now.
Mhm.
All right.
I also did not write down the words Koshiro, so
That's Sato's son.
That's the name.
oh,
of the
Sato's
kid.
son. Okay, all right, child. That makes sense.
Got it. So do I believe Aeon listens to me more often than not? I think recently you have been listening to me more.
Yes, I would actually go with yes. I'm trying to listen.
Okay. Have you recently protected them or helped them with a problem? You came to me talking about the mob, and I said just lay low.
Yeah, I'm middling there, but I'd be inclined to give it to you.
Okay. Is there an immediate threat to your ward that you are aware of? The mob. Yes.
Yeah, there's the mob.
Now watch me roll like a 2. Oh,
There we go.
I have hold of 2.
And I have to remember my lodestar stuff.
And if I remember correctly, we all did win our
Yes.
games.
We all
In
did
some
win our
cases
games.
handily, in some cases barely, but we did.
Some got thrown off the platform in a Hell in the Cell type match.
Well, yeah, because we put the two wrestlers up against each other.
Yep.
He was Mick Foley, I was the Undertaker. You know, just what happens.
What scene do we want to start with?
Yeah. So we are on day 2 now. This is the episode starts with the stamping of the words day 2 across the screen.
Like
for
a
the
gong or
tournament.
something in the
Yeah,
Dawn
background.
of
like
the
a
second day.
gong or like a double, like a 1-2 on a drum with mallets or something like that. There is the like Stark intro of it's day 2 now. So yeah, what is before the day starts, the tournament officially begins. There's the opening part of the day where people are awake and like walking around and have more or less free time before like it starts for the day. So I think we're just gonna go around and figure out what we're all doing since last night. Where do we start the episode on for you?
I will go last.
You gonna go last? Are you gonna kill someone?
You,
No, I'm in
you
prison.
spent the night in a mall
Oh.
jail cell.
Yeah, I'm in
Are
holding.
you planning on killing someone?
I am not planning on
That's
killing someone.
still a valid question.
And I assume, given that it
planning
was
on
like the middle of the night when I got caught, it's probably like wait here overnight. We'll get someone to talk to in the morning. Is probably what it is.
Yeah, more or
So
less.
yeah, I think I'll go last.
Well, Leon's got something pretty simple. He's wandering around and just in his new silent don't talk to anyone persona, inspecting
Oh yeah,
every
you have a
little
big
bit
hat.
yeah. I'm inspecting every little bit of tech that I can, to give an excuse to sabotage it later. And I'm also specifically looking out for any, maintenance tunnels or servants' entrances that might not be well used by the rest of the community.
So you're trying to do a technical survey of the building. That feels like you're assessing the situation.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah. So we see Aeon. What? What are you like? But literally, what are you doing while we figure this out? So you're just like walking around with a notebook or something?
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot more hands-on stuff at some points. I might pull out a wrench and see, hey, how is this put together? Or I was probably get my hand slapped a couple times and say, no, stop doing that. But yeah, just
Yeah.
any little thing in the walls, the Bunsen burners, the pole, just like last time we had things coming out of the ground on the lawn. I want to see how those work, or as best I can without people shooing me off.
Yeah. So I think before we get to that assess the situation though, we're gonna have to do something to actually give you access to some of these technical panels to figure out how they work. Some way of avoiding prying eyes, the guards that work here, getting injured. We gotta do something to overcome the access problem, because this is specifically like designed for like luxurious tech looking is its main purpose. It's supposed to look like a technically advanced house with cutting edge things going on. That is the goal. So they're hiding a lot of their crimes. They're hiding like where they've cut corners a lot of
Well, it's on
times, and the
display, but hard to get to the back end of stuff.
yeah, and it may not be the best organized or easy to work with because the goal isn't efficiency. The goal is what it looks like to the guests. So we got to do something to either like hide from the guards and have more time to look, or to take things apart. We just got to take some action to like give you access.
All right. I think that in some ways I am going to still do exactly the same thing. I'm looking at the stuff that they are displaying. Uh, the things I'm doing in order to get access is looking for those maintenance tunnels, essentially. Basically, just scoping out where are those locations, where are the service entrances, so that next time I can actually get in there and know when the people tend to come out, where they're at, where eyes might be. Finds
Okay,
you.
so this is the like overview without taking things apart, so you have a better plan for next time you get a free moment to go investigate the internals.
It sounds like it. Yeah, I still want to
Cool.
have investigated the externals a little bit, but it sounds like
Yeah,
there's not
totally.
really much there to have investigated.
All right,
So the
let's roll the
major roll and assess.
roll the assess the situation. I was
Absolutely.
just trying to get the framing clear on like what we're doing. That's a 6. You get
Great.
the appropriate number of questions for the 6.
Which for you is 0,
Uh,
isn't it?
yes.
Hmm.
Does anyone happen to want to help?
I
on that?
can't.
I mean, Sato would have been doing something similar, odds are, like looking around the place trying to figure out what's going on. I can help on that. I get up to a 7.
Thank you.
So yeah, as you're going, at some point you bump into Sato. It's like, what do you think of that, old man?
I think the best question here is what's my best way through this complex without being seen?
Hmm. The best way through the complex without being seen is like Spider-Man in the dead of night. There's very tall ceilings. That is your best way.
Very tall ceilings. I approve. All right, no one looks
Um,
up.
or you could have some other stealth approach. You wanted the best way. Guards don't look up. There's tall ceilings. It worked for Spider-Man. It can work for you.
I guess this isn't one of the questions, but did we find any maintenance hatches or whatnot?
I mean, I'm sure you found like some serpent entrances. where it's like, oh, this is where one of them was very silly. A whole chunk of pipe swung up at one point to give access to a door, indicating that whole row of piping is purely superficial.
That's great.
But yeah, you did find like a backrooms employee only door that is
Okay.
clearly connected to some of the machines because yeah, you have to pull some pipe up to get in.
But the actual best way is up to the ceilings. Sounds
That's
good.
how you get around without being seen. Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to go next then?
Yeah. Yeah, I would have been, or best way to put it. Fuck it. I would have been trying to sneak into places I'm not supposed to be.
Good.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. So everyone's just being like, I guess, a spy this morning. It is just everyone.
The funny thing is, I was going to do something very similar.
I think Sato's like
Yes.
way of doing that though is to like talk to the guards and get in good with them, become friendly with them.
So Sato's
and be
being
like-
an old man, and
Yeah.
you woke up and got a cup of coffee in the newspaper, and you're just kind of wandering around and talking to people until they walk away from you, I guess.
Well, what the trick would be like get them into a conversation while they're on patrol and just keep following them until they tell him not to follow him
Yeah.
anymore.
The worst kind of person at a resort. You're just
Yep.
like following an employee and talking their ear off.
Yep.
Cool. Yes. And you're still in your grandpa costume.
Yeah, it's
you were a manager. I don't know if you were a grandpa.
yeah, it's sort of a professional
Yeah.
attire. Whatever
grandpa.
passes for like a suit in the Fire Nation. I don't quite know what that is.
I do think it's
Like
the
fancy robes, I think.
Yeah,
is my
it is
Yeah.
big robes. It is big robes. I think that's what we see in the Fire Nation up until like the modern point. Is big robes are in.
Even in Korra, the Fire Lord then, she was wearing like fancy robes too.
Oh, I think in Korra it had turned around to ceremonial to wear the big robes.
Could be.
Mhm.
But it seemed like in Roku era, robes were just cool. So
Fair.
we're at the robes are just cool phase.
Yeah. They're coming around, but in like the older generation, robes are cool. All the kids are wearing
Yeah.
like different things, but
The kids are wearing pants.
yeah.
Scandalous.
Scandalous, showing your ankles.
You dressed
It's for
me in a role,
motorcycling.
and you dressed me out of fashion. How could you?
Depends on which fashion.
So yeah. Are you trying to trick the guards into getting into an area you're not supposed to be in?
It's not so much a trick as it is just a walking conversation that might make them not realize where we are. You
So
know?
pushing your
Guiding
luck?
comfort?
Guiding and comforting? Are you talking about their dogs and their children?
Yeah, I mean, that's Sato's MO is to be like, give advice to people. So,
I didn't comfort the guards. Oh, great.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, it's probably a trick at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we'll do
I
that.
feel like guide and comfort move-wise doesn't give us quite what we need. And
Yeah.
mostly because I'm not going to write down who this guard is and how they feel about you afterwards. So...
Ooh, that's bad.
Ooh.
These are some early not oh my goodness.
See, I was standing by to help you in return, but I don't think I can do anything with that.
Even if I
No.
was there to help you, I can't do anything to help.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the way the scene goes is we get Sato getting up and getting, what's your morning beverage?
It's like a pale tea.
Yeah, you get your tea, you get like a scone or something, and you start talking to this guard, and you do follow him around for a little bit, and you get to some door, and then it just slams in your face, and the scene's over.
Like in
But
the
it's
middle
like
of
a
your
decent-
sentence, he's just like,
yeah.
yeah, okay, bye.
But it's a decent length, like part of the intro to the show is Sato getting up and getting the scone, and like the plan seems like it's gonna work up until the seed's over and you're stuck in the hallway. I don't think there's any like major fallout, except that the guards don't really like you as much as you thought they did. Guard
very much
plans
being
in the
polite.
future, yeah, the guards are gonna stop humoring this kind of
Humor the old
action.
man.
Yeah, you are guards, not friends. Don't be friendly. Be
And
guardly.
they're gonna start being more professionally curt with you about like, please move on.
No loitering.
Yep.
So when we won our matches yesterday, did we get like we have more access now?
I remember we had access to a sauna now.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
a sauna.
Just a sauna or like other places?
It's big
There was
sauna.
something else too.
There's sauna's one of them. I'm sure there's like a few more rooms. I did not map out this castle.
Bao
Rooms
is
appear
just
as per needed.
Bao is going to like map out what places he now has access to, and while he's doing that, sort of like, because we're looking for a child who is assumedly being protected and hidden away. His whole job was protecting a child and hiding them away, or trying to. So I want to rely on my skills and training to figure out where could they be hiding a secret child.
Trying to figure that out.
You want okay? If the question is where could they be hiding a secret child, you do remember spires.
Like there are several
Spires?
like tall towers.
Yeah, there's like towers in the castle.
Do we don't have access to the spires, I assume. Do we have access to like near the spires?
You have access to a rooftop garden / meditation space.
Okay. I would like to rely on my skills and training to figure out, like, logistically, as a guard or someone who wants to guard someone, where would you put someone? Like, which one of these towers is most likely to have a child?
But there's only like 3. I think we described this as like built into like a
An ancient,
mountainous.
mountain, old Japanese style like castle.
Yeah.
So there's like turrets and
Yeah, so there's
pagoda
like
kind of thing.
so there's like 3. There's 3 towers. 2 of them are just kind of like the side of the mountain ones. They're not like true standalone towers.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one is the one that's the third, like a true standalone tower. And you're not super worried about getting sieged at an island fortress or anything.
Right.
So that's not really a concern. That's where you'd put someone that you don't want getting out.
You would put
You
them
got to
in
go
the
all the
lone
way
spire.
down. Yeah, you put them in the lone one because then they got to go all the way down and all the way through the castle to go anywhere.
Okay. Is that perchance in the direction of the sauna?
The sauna's like in one of the lower levels. It's like a wood box style sauna with the hot rocks and stuff.
Okay.
The sauna and the lap pool are in the same larger room.
Then I want to just like study guard patrols toward that area, something like that. Just figure out like how many guards are moving in and out of that corner.
Sounds like a what's the best way in assess.
To me, I
Yes,
agree.
you're assessing the guards. What are you doing to get this kind of studying guard patrol? Are you spending 48 hours because you don't have 48 hours to sit and watch all the guards? What are you doing to gain access to the guard patrols?
I'm wanting to not roll creativity.
Okay. You don't have to. You do not have to roll creativity. You can always
just
live up to your principle to do anything your heart desires.
I was more like relying more on Bao's time as a guard and sort of like, are these guards going this way more seriously than a different way? Like, just sort of like analyzing it through that sort of lens.
To be honest, I think any
think
kind
long
of
enough
this still feels like an assess to me. Relying on the skills and
Mm.
training is more to do a thing than to gather information. Um,
Yeah.
unless you want to rely on your skills and training to like go somehow steal or acquire that information
That's what I was trying
like
to.
instead of watching them yourself, like going
Yeah,
to find their
that's what I
notes
was.
or yeah.
That's what I
As
was trying to get at, because yes, I do think Bao's skills and training would allow him to figure out what the guard schedule is. I do think
Mm.
that's a possible role because you are trained in that.
Right.
But to figure out the guard's routine by only watching them and writing things down in your little notebook, that's surveillance, and that takes days.
Okay.
You can't
then
just watch them for 20 minutes and be like, I know these patrols.
Yeah, you
got
need a
it.
shortcut.
You need a shortcut if you want to get that information during your free time before the tournament starts.
This
Okay.
round,
So
yeah.
if you want to go to the meditation garden and try to estimate how big of a catapult you need to fling yourself to that tower, maybe you could do some morning math. But you get the morning 48 hours of sitting in one place and watching the guards
Okay.
less effective.
Then I want to use my skills and training to get into the guard break room and look at their schedules.
Yes. You have stealth,
I have
lockpicking,
earthbending.
earthbending. So you're going
Yes.
to Kool-Aid Man your way into the guard break room.
Less
Berserk.
Kool-Aid Man and more like Homer Simpson into the bushes.
Is earthbending quiet? I don't remember earthbending being quiet.
Not
I
normally,
have,
but you have thick mud. And Stoneface, I think their whole thing is to be quiet.
Stoneface is the explicitly hyper stealthy earthbender.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. I can do this. I have surprise entrance. I'm gonna roll a trick to try and trick them and surprise entrance into the break room
So
and
you're-
then out of the break room.
So you're gonna okay. I'm curious as to
Yeah, there
how,
you go.
but you're gonna trick your way in and out.
They're gonna notice you. You
So you can
trick
pretend to be a guard? Just straight up?
Bao is not going to come out as a crystal champion. He's going to come out as someone else, and then just be like, "Oh, there's something like he's going to try and trick him. Something going on over here." He's going to turn the corner as they all run out of the break room. He will earthbend through, and then read whatever he needs to read.
I don't think you. Okay. I think we've fleshed out this plan enough. Your plan is to use your surprise entrance move to slip into the guard break room and like set off fire. I don't know. You need some sort of distraction to get through unseen. I think is the easiest.
Yeah.
Point.
I break some steam pipes near the
So-
guard break room. They
Cool.
all come out to investigate. And then
Yeah,
I
so we
sneak in.
we get a bit of Bahu walking around in your crystal champion outfit, and then at one point you turn a corner, like and the camera's on the other side of the corner, and you turn, and you're no longer in crystal champion, and you grab some like piping and you crush it and twist, and it starts steaming, and you see all the guards run out from the little hallway door, and then the camera in the background of that we see Bahu just like phasing through the wall a little bit as it ripples, as with your newfound mud bending powers.
Yes.
As the wall ripples a bit, and Bahu, you just run and you just reach up real fast and literally just rip the schedule off the wall.
Yeah.
That's the fastest way to do it. Just rip the schedule off the wall, because it's going to take them all of 2 minutes to turn the valve and head back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That sounds like you're tricking them.
Yes, I would like to roll with focus
Yeah.
instead of my -1 creativity.
I forgot we had to roll in these games. I thought we could just discuss it till it made sense.
Yes.
Full hit. I'm glad it worked out that way, because I should have waited to discuss the scene.
That's exactly
Perfect.
how it works out.
It's just worked, and luckily, when you turn around, the whole place is empty, and there isn't someone still there, still like with their chopsticks halfway to their mouth with rice. It's just like, oh, they're not there. There was not someone who stayed behind.
Yeah. So then we get Bahu phasing out of the wall, just like whistling as you walk back, and your crystal starts growing back over you as you once again take on the visage of the crystal champion.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
I imagine you're also doing like contouring with crystals to change the look of your face a little bit. Like
It's
you
like-
have them strategically grown so you look like you have a whiter jaw or something.
Yeah, it's like crystal grown like a helmet.
Crystal mutton chops, so we don't
Crystal
actually
mutton
know how thick your face is.
Whenever he's hungry, he gets like one of those crystal snacks. It goes, "Step into a crystal, brother." And takes a bite.
Excellent.
All right, that's Bao's silly adventure.
Yeah, and then after that we get, I guess, does Quiwo whistle? Do you
So
like
I guess
tune?
my first question is, what kind of cell does Quiwa find herself in?
Yeah, we're working towards the cell, but do you whistle or have little songs you sing, or do you like
No,
drum
Quiwa
on
actually gets
stuff?
quiet.
What's your fidgets? So it's okay. So it's
Quiwa,
we
I think, is just sort of fidgeting with her hands, kind of like just with her hands and like with each other.
So all we keep going down the hallway after the Crystal Champion leaves, and we eventually make our way down into an employees only area, holding cell. It's kind of raw stone, like it's cut stone, but it's not like there's no tapestries, there's no rugs.
It's just a
There isn't
plain square,
there isn't
like rectangular
technology.
stone
There's
room. Yeah.
wall sconces and stuff.
Mhm.
We hear the skittery sounds of, I don't know, dragon rats or something. Not elephant rats, because there's some like scary lizard rat combo
Perfect.
as they fight over spiders. And then we see the cell, and it's just a normal looking jail cell. There's like 3 in a row. It's mall jail. There's
Okay.
not like a real prison going on.
So there's like
here.
metal bars, but otherwise that is just stone, basically.
Metal
throughout.
bars. You have a metal bench in there. It's a cartoon jail cell, so we don't worry about if you have a toilet or not.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, cartoon jail
People
cell.
don't go to the toilet in cartoons.
No.
Exactly.
We only have so much animation budget.
Mhm.
We can't afford to flush that part out unless it's part of a humorous bit.
Of course. Yeah, so Quiwa's sitting there, she's fidgeting with her hands, and she has probably been trying to think of a way out of this all night, or probably thinking through several scenarios of possibilities to get out of this, and like what if Honto himself shows up? Ah! And what do I do then? And like she's halfway, she's trying to mind palace it, she's not that good, she's panicking is more what it is, and just like letting her anxious what ifs play out and plan for those.
Yeah. You know that you have to make it to the
I have to get
pairings for the day,
I have to
or
make
you
it
auto lose your match.
I thought I have to make it to the match itself, to when it starts, right? Or is it when the pairing?
No, for the pairings, you auto lose yesterday's match if you're not at the pairings.
Okay.
Oh, right, because they assume you were eliminated.
Yep. So Quiwa is.
This is your challenge. This is
Yep.
Quiwa's challenge.
We previously said we saw Stoneface watching her.
Yeah.
Does she notice that eventually, or I guess she's waiting until something happens? Is the first thing.
Yeah. The last you saw Stoneface was just the Stoneface on the wall across from you. That at some point in the night did recede.
If I don't, okay.
You can assume that they may be trying to take your place at the.
I was gonna ask
at the match pairings.
if Quiwa in character noticed Stoneface.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did notice at some point in the evening that you were being watched.
Okay.
That they're not here right now.
Oh, Quiwa was gonna say something if she noticed, actually, but I didn't. I thought when at the end of last session, I believe it was stated Quiwa didn't notice, so wasn't sure. Whenever
Yeah,
Kui would
I'm
notice, she would.
assuming some like nighttime scene where there's like a flash of lightning outside and you see the
Perfect.
stone face on the wall.
Okay. Quiwa would like to talk to them briefly, or talk at them, because I assume they're not going to say anything.
Yeah, they may have. Yeah, but you can say stuff, and if they're around, they'll hear you. We'll assume they'll hear you because that makes more sense. Because why would we
Mm-hmm.
pay for lines to be read that
Exactly.
aren't plot relevant?
Ooh. I think Quiwa says, at first, she says, hello. I could use your help. Of course, she waits for a second. Of course, there's just silence in her response.
Yeah, you see a short burst of flame as a spider web goes up in smoke. It's the rats from earlier.
Right,
Mm,
the dragon.
yep.
The rats from earlier.
Dragon rats, lovely. Quiwa gets startled by them for a second, scoots slightly away from that corner, but then continues, and she says, I would owe you a great debt if you could get me out of here. Also, or instead of that, there is something else I would ask you to do if you are open to it. I am willing to provide payment, and for a certain task, she pauses and then says, for a certain task, I am willing to withdraw from the tournament if you are open to it. And she just like waits to see if they. I don't know if I have to plead or anything for that, but
Yeah, I think you're gonna do a plead roll
okay.
to try to get them to. But let's clarify what you're asking for help on.
So right now I'm not specific.
If you're doing well, how about this?
Quiwa
If
has
you
a few
are,
ideas in mind at once, but she doesn't know if this person's willing to do anything at all for them. So she's not.
yeah,
She's trying to play it close to the chest.
yeah,
In out of
I,
character, her ideas are I'll forfeit my if she can get us either the kid, like if Stoneface as an Earthbender can either get us the kid or make significant progress to getting the kid, she'll just give Stoneface her place in the tournament in exchange.
So getting help with your mission with Stoneface requires that you establish a relationship with them first.
Okay.
Like, but pleading with Stoneface for help out of this tough spot is in the cards, and then you might be able to expound upon that later to get Stoneface to help with your mission.
Okay.
But the mission, assume, is like second level
Okay.
friendship with these NPCs. You got to
Yeah.
get them on your side first, and then convince them to help.
Okay.
But you could try to plead with Stoneface for help out of this jam, because they know the rules of the tournament as well as you do, and
They know I'm
who
screwed
knows?
unless I find another
Yeah,
way out.
they may also think this is unfair that you were locked up and not let out before the pairings are announced.
Mm-hmm.
So you could plead for them for help on that respond, like on that kind of thing.
Yeah. I have some ideas. I think Quiwa's going to compliment them. She says, when we played, she's again like talking to a brick wall. So she just sort of says it to the thin air. When we played, you played well, better than the person after me, who it turns out was cheating. I do not think you should have been kicked out of the tournament so early. I would appreciate your help escaping this predicament, and I will help you find a way back in exchange. I don't know if that is enough to count as roguish charm. When you plead with an NPC or skips the part where you can guide them, by comforting someone or when you plead with an NPC by flattering them and empathizing with them, I can mark a fatigue to roll with creativity instead of harmony.
Okay, because you have to spend resources on it, yeah, that works.
Okay. I will mark a fatigue, and I will try to plead with them. Where's fatigue? Where is my fatigue tracker?
Below your stats on your character sheet.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. I was just missing it. Okay.
Also, since we all rested, I think we will clear our fatigue because we're not sleeping on the cold, hard ground.
We're not
Correct.
sleeping on the cold,
Kuiwa
hard
was.
ground.
No, except for Quiwa.
Yeah, Kuiwa was. You're
Well, even
right.
the cold, hard ground, you clear 2. So.
Okay, then I just have the one fatigue that I just spent.
Yep.
Okay, I got to 10. So with plead on a 10, they act now and do their best until the situation changes.
So the gist of it is that they do expect your help getting back in the tournament.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But you do see on the wall beside you a Pai-Sho shaped tile, but like door sized, begins to emboss itself on the wall and kind of move aside so you could slip out between a couple of the cells.
Perfect.
It's whatever the first opening piece Stoneface put down during your match. There's the tile that just like appears in the stone slowly and then like shifts aside and you can squeeze out and race up to the match pairings.
Okay, perfect.
Still, what were you doing last night? You were in like
I was attempting to
mode?
like sneak it through the into the areas I'm not supposed to be. I didn't specify specifically where,
Yeah,
but I was literally just sneaking around at night.
you're sneaking around. So you're in some like I don't know.
I don't think I got very
suit or
far.
something.
No, I think she's still wearing her disguise.
Okay.
But her disguise I think was she was a
Right?
waterbender, yeah. So it's
Or
probably some
not a waterbender, but water tribe.
water tribe, yeah. So it was some blue shades mostly, which aren't bad during night to sneak around in anyways.
You're still wearing your clothes from yesterday. Is the point I'm making?
Yeah. And yeah, she's gonna try and get out of there, and she says like, "Thank you, I will keep my promise and part." And then yeah, she's just gonna try and get back to the pairings in time.
Yeah. So we see Quiwa running back up down the hallway, and we get like a stone face appearing in the wall, watching you run away, kind of shot. As our bizarre stone character is just gonna keep showing up, I guess.
Perfect.
You have made promises.
Chekhov's mask.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, that is the main thing. So we all make it up to the match pairings for the day. Now's the point. I gotta figure out who we're paired with.
Quiwa is panting a bit, but like it's fine. Everything was fine. It's fine. Nothing went wrong at all.
Nothing went wrong.
Are you all right?
Later, but right now, yes, is what she says. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Bao's eye just slightly twitches.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of who the fourth.
I've
I'm
put
just trying
down
to make sure I
ideas
got-
over the weeks for who they could be in chat.
No, I'm trying to remember who the fourth one was last week because we had the Thunder Wrestler, we had the 3 kids in a trench coat, we had the moody deep water waterbender.
We had the mob is who I fought a second time
Oh,
because I obviously
yeah.
confused my opponent.
There was a mob executive. Yeah, I gotta write down a bunch more mob executives in here.
You're just gonna always be fighting the mob.
Maybe he might. Maybe. All right, I actually like
I mean,
that
they're
idea.
pulling strings behind the scenes to be able to take me out at this point.
Yeah, Aeon, can you roll me a d6?
Oh boy.
We're just gonna see if you're paired with the mob again.
Oh. Sure, if I can figure this out. D6. Let's try that. Nope.
/r
Okay.
space 1d6.
Ah, finally. 5.
5? All right, it's not the mob this time,
That's probably a relief.
but it is Lieutenant. No, no, not quite.
Not
Um,
not yet.
Not yet. It's not Lieutenant
Day
Pai
2.
yet.
Day 2. Oh no.
It's day 2. But yeah, it's a swamp bender. You're paired up with a swamp bender. There's some swampy Pai-Sho master. Also kind of on the older side. They are wearing robes as well, but the robes are entirely made of now rather dry swamp weed.
I can imagine they probably every morning and every night they pay a visit to the ocean to revitalize their vines that they bring with them.
No,
They should. Just
they
because
should.
yeah, but they don't.
They should. They don't.
Perfect.
So what happens if after you're paired up with someone, they don't show up to the match?
No, the way it works, it's assumed the winner of the day's match, by virtue of honor, I guess, is the one to show up for the pairing. That is the tournament concept of it.
But
I guess
we're
what
playing
if we
immediately
take
after
out
the
our
pairing,
opponent
right?
Before we attack, or we...
Not immediately. There's some time where you can prepare for the match.
Okay.
But there is a check-in at the start of the day where you receive your pairing and such.
Okay.
Okay, so if you took out the person you were matched against,
they have the rest of the day,
essentially
that
whoever
same
lost
day, to
against
take
them
you
would
out.
end up showing up.
Yeah, but this is an honorable tournament where no one would ever do that.
No.
No one would ever do such things.
Anytime anyone doesn't show up, it's because they honorably bowed out completely voluntarily.
They realized they cheated, or they didn't like their performance. They didn't think it was worthy of the win.
Left the oven on, something.
There could be many reasons. It's not our place to say why they chose to not.
They ate too much at breakfast, had a food coma.
It is a little strange how all of these reasons ultimately lead to fell off a balcony.
Mhm.
But
They do. That does seem to happen an absurdly high amount.
I didn't realize we were playing in Russia. A lot of people fought out of windows.
But that is kind of why there's the big spiry castle. It is to push
Two
characters out of.
there are no railings, and
Of course not.
This place is worse than the Death Star.
No, there are railings, but they're the really low, superficial railings on a balcony.
they're there more to trip you than save you.
They're on knee height for some reason, so you can just get pushed and tumble over them. You see, your cat doesn't run off the balcony. It's really what it's for.
I mean, the wolf child is probably happy for them.
Yeah, the wolf child does seem to be up against the rules are already lax from day one. A group of mob members are facing the wolf child. They're registered as hit squad or something.
They're registered as one person.
Yeah, but it's just 3 mob guys with different hats but matching suits.
They're all registered as Little Tony, and they're like, "What's your name, Little Tony? What's your name?" They're all just Little Tony.
Some goofy, but that's who the wolf child is up against. For this round, we got Aeon up against the swamp bender. Bauhu, it's not another wrestler, but I do think it is some. We had some ideas in the chat. It is some. It's some other kind of professional athlete again. Just a different flavor of not Pai-Sho professional Pai-Sho player.
It's like a archer. like a sport archer.
Yeah, like a sport archer. I was gonna say like BMX rider or cyclist, but I don't know what the equivalent is
Wait,
here.
it's a water tribe surfer, bro.
Another one?
Another
No,
one.
it's not a a snowboarder. What about a snowboarder?
A
Ooh,
snowboarder.
Yes,
A
yes, it's a snowboarder. They are wearing the coat. They have the goggles.
They're
they have
hoping
a
to
snow-
like ski from the mountain of this island, but there's actually no snow on it, and they didn't know.
The
No,
volcano.
it doesn't matter. They're a waterbender. They throw the snow
Oh, you're
down.
right. Yeah, they create the snow in front of them.
Unfortunately, I still think the volcano might have something to say about when
Oh,
the snow, when
yeah.
they get to the snow, whether it's still there. But
No, what they do is it's like Gara. Instead of
Like-
sand, they have water.
Yeah.
And they're water bending it into
Like,
snow in front of them
right
as
in
they
front.
Yeah,
tread
it's just a
down the
snow
mountain.
wheel.
Yep. We have the air wheel. Now we have the snow wheel.
we know how they've
Weird.
been spending the morning.
Weird snowboarder, weird snowboarder OC waterbender is who who is fighting. They probably need a name that's not OC waterbender.
So just like Shred or something.
Yeah, just the
Yeah,
shredder.
I like Shred. It's a good snowboard character. The swamp bender is like, I don't know, Vine Master or something. They have some Grandmaster style title. They're the best at their Pai-Sho club in the swamp. Club.
There's not a lot of people.
There's not a lot of people. It's like it's him, it's his nephew, and it's like three other old men.
One of
that
them's his
show up-
cousin Jedediah.
Yeah, that show up to the Swamp Pai-Sho Association.
Mhm.
Sorry, he is the president of the Swamp Bender Pai-Sho Association.
Got it.
His
All
actual
right.
name is the Swamp Bender equivalent of Joe Bob.
Yeah. Does the book have Swamp Bender names in it?
It does.
Yep.
Does it? Oh my
I
god.
think it's mostly Chinese.
Oh.
Memory serves.
I mean, the swamp
I
is
want-
right in the middle of Earth Nation territory, so
I want
Yeah.
Louisiana like hillbilly names.
Well, I'm not culturally in tune with what certain names in Chinese mean, so they might be the Chinese equivalent of redneck names. I don't know.
What book is that in? I'm sorry about the
It's the
derailment.
main book.
I'm just very curious as to official swamp name list.
I'll
Says
I'll find it. Go ahead
114 to
and
115.
there you
Yeah.
go.
114 to 115.
That's for names.
Sato, you're up against Aeon's mom. That's the stunning upset this time. And
Wait,
it's
who's up
Natsu.
against?
Natsu, I just have her written in my notes as Aeon's mom. But it's your like mentor character that you
and
brought in.
Sato's up against?
Yes.
Drat it.
who is Quill up against?
Shoot. Yeah. Oh, it's
Let me pick-
Kana. We have two important characters that aren't so important to like the subplot.
Okay, who am I?
Kana was the bodyguard character.
Yeah.
From the
Oh.
last arc. The waterbender
From last
bodyguard
epic.
character who
From
may
last
who
arc.
may or may not recognize you.
Oh boy. The Quill just like and like checks her
You show
disguise.
up late. So yeah, we get the pairings as you show up late. And you're reading down the list and you see all of the like your party's pairings, and then it's the shock moment of someone who may know you.
Whoever
who
is
knows where-
closest within the group to Quiwa, she like tugs on their sleeve to like, hey, you should look at what I'm looking at.
Someone who knows where that necklace came from.
Mm.
Mm.
I think that I'm busy looking at the name between Sato and Natsu and like, how did I don't know.
You can pull on Bow's crystals.
Yeah. I like knock on them then. There's like a clinking sound as I knock on the crystals.
Yes, what can I? Oh, what is it? He whispers instead
like,
of doing the big.
Look at who I'm facing.
Is this the racist one? We've been on the road for a while.
Yeah, I think it's that one. Or they have an identical name.
Oh, it's the brother.
It's the
the
brother.
brother.
Oh, it's
It's the other one.
bodyguard.
The
Oh, okay.
waterbender brother.
Okay. I knew one of them was
I-
a racist. I just
Okay, yeah,
couldn't
he's
remember
like-
which one.
He's the, my
Mm,
fiance's bodyguard.
still weird when you say it. Do you want me to
Kill him.
not like, but like,
Just blind him.
Why don't
want me to break his hands?
we just bring him into this?
There's gonna be a lot of cooks in this kitchen. But okay.
Or we can just beat him.
Well, if we bring him into it, one of you has to win, and one of you has to lose. And I don't think either of you could do much good in your rooms.
I think you hear knocking on the crystals on your other side.
What do you? Oh, hey.
And there's miming of "Can I talk now?"
Yeah. What's up? We got a problem.
I might be working on a way to make it so that we can get out of rooms, at least so we're not seen. So if we want to bring more people in, that might not be bad.
Oh. Mm.
What are you talking about? Sato just walks up behind all three of you.
Yeah, we all like
Christian
shove.
champion is telling the little ones. Oh, as you get closer, I go like, okay. So we got a problem. Quiwa.
Another problem? Oh,
I'm facing my fiance's former bodyguard who went on leave, but he's on sabbatical. They haven't talked in a while. I didn't know he was here.
And you're facing Natsu, and we've got to figure out how we can switch up these pairings.
what are the pairings written on? Just a big sheaf of paper?
No, weird.
Oh, it was like the rattling.
Yeah, weird speaking
Yeah.
rattling machine in the middle of the room.
Okay, yeah, like a
Not easily switched.
like
after
a train
happens.
station signboard. Yeah. Mhm.
Real impressive. They spent a lot of money getting this signage for this event.
Quiwa says.
What
Oh yeah, go ahead first.
if we can make a distraction? Aeon might be able to do something here.
I don't know if we can.
And he
fix
points to the signboard.
Yeah. I
That
think
is
Aeon
that is a good plan. That is a good plan, and I immediately know what mixed success means for Aeon. If you shuffle the pairings with a mixed
You're facing a
success,
mob, a
we're
monster.
facing the mob. We automatically know what it's going to be. I love this plan.
Yeah. Okay. So I have good news though. He like looks around and like from behind his crystal gauntlet, he pulls out the guard like schedule. He's like, I was able to nab this in the morning. So I also think I know where our target is. At least generally.
You have a code word for the child?
Our target's fine, I guess.
Little S, little Sato.
Where is he being kept?
If I was trying to guard someone.
So if you kidnapped a child, is what this.
If I kidnapped a child, which is essentially.
Quiwa can't resist saying, because you've never unwillingly kept someone in a stone room before. She's still not over that. She gets her barbs in, not that frequently, but
a week at least.
Yeah.
So there are 4 towers. 3
There are
towers.
3 towers.
Yeah,
2 are small, 1 is big.
And
Yeah, it's
to
like a
the main
square.
castle.
It's a square designed castle that has been artfully turned and shoved into a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 of the 3 spires like go up with the mountain. So they're not like a true standalone. It's just like a facade carved into the mountain that can make 2 of the 3 spires. It's very classy.
Okay.
Very evil lord of a medieval village.
Yeah.
But still very, very well done.
Yeah. So I think that he's in the lone spire that's not attached to the mountain because there's only one way up or down. It's the most defensible, and you're not really going to get sieged on an island like this. So
That's what they think.
That's great and all, but can we maybe deal with the immediate problem? And I gesture at the board.
I listen. You go in with the bad news, and then I was hitting him with the good news, and now we get him with the bad news again.
I have other.
The longer we leave that up there, the more people are seeing the wrong
Okay, let's do it now.
pairings.
Okay. The crystal champion is like she's gonna go up and do something.
Perfect.
Oh, God.
Okay, you do the
Let's do it.
distraction.
Hey, what is the crystal champion doing?
Kui was gonna like be around to help and like watch for danger, so she'll be available to spend.
You know what?
Edging towards whatever controls those pairings.
Bao's gonna approach the mob. And be like, my friend here says that you've been messing with him unintentionally. Ooh, and I don't like that at all. Like, I'm just gonna start beef with the mob.
I could see what the mixed success there would be. Also, your friend says that, do they?
It's a hit.
Or that, yeah.
Oh.
Look, we needed some real combat. Sure, let's do that.
Oh, is fighting allowed? Because Bao might just challenge them to like a throwdown.
Fighting's not allowed, but it's also not disallowed.
They're not going to intervene unless things look real bad, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but like,
how entertaining is it?
Yeah.
Well, it's less about how entertaining is it and how much, as opposed to how much does it stop the tournament. So if you break out into a literal brawl right now, the guards are going to step in and stop.
Okay.
Because this is the match pairing for the day, and you are interrupting the proceedings. But like, if in the middle of the night you kick the shit out of someone and throw them off the cliff, then like, whatever.
And no one cares.
No one cares. Okay. Let's move on with this tournament.
I'm wanting to. I'm more just providing a distraction for Aeon. I'm not like necessarily trying to get anything out of the mob.
Yeah. So I think we get the bit where the Crystal Champion marches up to the mob and starts yelling at them, and they're like puffing their shoulders out and yelling back at you. It's causing a little bit of commotion, and the guards are starting to like pay attention and start walking away. And then we get Aeon slinking off with wrenches in his hands as he slips around the sideboard to alter the pairings for the entire tournament this day, because that's a roll.
The roll is going to be.
I think Kui will be actively involved in switching it with you. She's
So the move is this was a victory. My guess this is my revelation of having sabotaged the signboard.
Yes, you sabotaged this previously during your survey today.
I'm just trying to activate it now because I knew there was going to be a bad pairing at some point. And let's see how this goes.
Oh.
So do we count as 2 help, 1 from the distraction and 1 from Quiwa?
So definitely 1 from the distraction. Quiwa wants to help. Quiwa also wants to make sure Stoneface. She wants to literally rip off someone's thing and add a new one that says like Stoneface on it as her payback. That would probably be a separate roll.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would probably be pushing my luck actually, because that would be like very much. Hang on, they got eliminated already.
You can do one or the other. You can add Stoneface to the rolls and roll push your luck. Or you can help Aeon and make it not a failure.
Sato, can you help Aeon? Do you have a fatigue?
I mean, I have a fatigue, certainly.
You don't have to help them in the like rushing up and doing it. You could like be watching for people noticing them, which is...
No. I was just wondering if I should wait for you to make your decision and then make my decision, just to increase the pressure a little bit. But no, I'll help.
Okay, then I'm going to rush forward and do the push of my luck after, like as part of this.
Okay. So,
let me know when I need to roll that.
yes, we get a mixed success. Aeon, yes, you are paired up with the 3 mob guys now.
Fine. So I'm swapping names
Remember,
really quickly. I'm
Yeah.
focused on a couple of the important names, but the mob guys aren't important names.
Yeah,
that
you don't
I'm
know their
focused
individual
on.
names, and that's what it had.
yeah, but remember, currently, the Crystal Champion is beefing with them on your behalf.
Yeah, and we
Definitely no
specifically
problem.
brought that up.
It specifically mentioned that's what the beef's about.
I'm glad you're that you are now Bao's ward because I think you're gonna need it.
You're gonna need it.
Thanks. You're doing
Okay.
such a great job of protecting me.
Are there any other changes you're making besides swapping Quiwa and...
Sato and Natsu.
So you're also swapping that one? Okay.
Yes.
I think the intent was for Natsu and the Waterbender bodyguard guy for neither of them to face any of us. Was your intent, right?
That was the big goal. Don't face relevant NPCs, which
It's gonna get harder and harder to do over time. Yes,
Yeah.
The more
Yeah.
people we bring in on the conspiracy, the harder that's gonna be.
that's true.
I do think Quiwa, now
Now I'm gonna push my
a
luck.
different kind of fear strikes your heart with the new pairings as you are facing the wolf baby now. But yeah, the time has
Oh
come.
boy. Okay. The time has come. I have +1 forward against him, so that's good. But
Yeah,
I'm
the
gonna.
time has come, but the wolf baby is your new opponent.
Excellent.
I love how the 2 people who weren't doing much swapping are now against much worse
Oh,
opponents.
my other option
Yeah.
is I instead of pushing my luck here, I could just drop myself because I know I would lose against the wolf baby, and then send Stoneface there to die.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then you're gonna push your luck to swap a name with Stoneface.
I think I'm still gonna push my luck then because I have +1 forward against the wolf baby. I could beat them maybe. If I study them, but okay, I'm gonna roll with passion to push my luck. The
Sorry.
rolls are cruel and unusual.
Yeah.
I would like to help by just making a bigger distraction and giving you way more time.
How do you up the ante?
Oh, the Crystal Champion's gonna come scream like he's just gonna like outwardly threaten.
So
I'm
you-
coming
you-
down toward your neck of the woods, and I'm gonna smash you. Ooh, yeah.
So you've
Like, just-
upgraded from simply beefing with the mob to actually threatening them with
yes, me
physical
personally
violence.
threatening them.
Yes, I'm just clarifying.
Mm-hmm.
We did talk about the lack of safety railings on this
Mhm.
cliffside
Yep.
castle already,
And we have
right?
already had one wrestler fall to their death.
And yes,
Whoa, he's not
we
dead.
did-
Oh,
That's
yeah,
fair.
So it's a
To their-
TV working.
To
he's
their
just in a full body
being
cast.
to their
Either
full body
way.
cast.
Yeah, realistically, their death, fictionally, stretchered out of the,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
establishment.
And I took his Pai-Sho tiles.
On a 7 to 9, I do it, but it costs me to scrape by. You just tell me what it costs me.
I mean, easiest thing is conditions.
That could work.
Yeah, I think you take a condition, and it costs you the ability to turn Pana to help your cause,
Okay.
because you've kicked them out. You've kicked him out for Stoneface.
Oh, okay. So
You've
he's
lost
the
the
name I
potential-
ripped out.
Yeah, you've lost a potential ally.
Mm.
So I think that the way that mechanically
Is there a
because it was
condition as well,
calling
then?
numbers and names to go next to each
Yes,
other.
you grab a condition.
Okay. I'm
Whatever
gonna
is
be
the most
I'm gonna
for
be-
that feeling.
guilty at that, despite everything. I
Yeah.
think that makes the most sense.
Can I clear angry by fucking with the mob?
What's the clear condition for angry?
It's like break something important or let me see.
Lash out at a friend.
Yeah.
They're not a
Break or
friend.
lash out.
I don't
This
think
is the
you've
do something
escalated
I think
real
this is
dumb
this is
option.
breaking something important that is you know, the mob's sort of stance on us as a crew.
I think you need to push it harder if you want to do that. You need to
Yeah, I don't
punch
think
one of
it's-
them right here
Yeah,
and now.
I don't. Well, here's my struggle with it. There is specifically a clear condition that is do something foolish. So it's hard
Okay.
for me to justify changing a foolish action into clearing any other condition because
Got it.
the rules are very explicit about what
Mhm.
taking a foolish action benefits you with.
Yep.
That is fair.
So I think what it looks like is because the name board was just names kind of falling down with letters. Basically, what I end up doing is removing the bottom set of names so that everyone shifts one pairing down. And as you kind of do that, that's how when you swap the names, like we actually take out two names and push one back in at the bottom there, and that is why your pairing is kind of messed up there. But I am going to make things worse for myself here because on a 7 to 9, the opportunity is fleeting, and I need to act fast to stay ahead of the consequences. What are the consequences to us on this?
I
Oh,
thought
the
we,
mob's gonna try to make sure they beat you at this max match.
Okay.
So
I
it
have
is
another.
either.
I have a larger escalation of that idea. My
I was gonna
idea
say there's gonna
is
be a combat scene after the Pai-Sho, and then even
And
if
they're
you
gonna fight
win,
us.
the mob is gonna
Oh,
come
okay, that
try to
works.
take you out.
I was gonna say they tried to make it so you don't even make it to the match, but that works too.
Yeah, they're gonna play the game because that's what the guards will stop them on, is interrupting the flow of the tournament.
Okay.
But they're gonna try the consequences you need to stay ahead of are they're going to come physically to hurt you
Yeah.
after the game.
Violence
today.
from the
They-
mob.
Violence
They
is
will win
incoming.
by sundown, is their motivation.
You have to do something or fight them.
There's a good thing our rooms are connected then.
Oh boy.
And who's Sato facing off against now?
Oh yeah, it's no longer Natsu.
Let me pull from my list of ideas. There's a Kyoshi warrior. There's a world-renowned chef. There's
There's like a guy who
I got
plays
a
for the
flying
spirit
lemur
that's
who
there.
can somehow play.
I think it's a chef and a lemur.
Oh,
The
that's
lemur
perfect.
plays.
Yeah, it's a ratatouille.
It's like an organ grinder that's a chef. Yeah.
It's a ratatouille situation.
He's got the big hat, and it's just a lemur in there.
Yep, playing
The hat has
Pai-Sho.
the
No,
ears
the lemur-
sticking out each side.
But the lemur physically comes off his head to go move the pieces.
Oh, it's not even hidden. Yeah, perfect.
No.
Oh, like runs out of his chef's coat, like out the sleeve, and like moves the pieces around.
Yeah.
Hat comes down off the head. That's kind of just
Yes, the hat
body that the
comes.
lemur is carrying.
Perfect.
The lemur's the player, the chef's the escort.
Excellent. Okay, and we have a bit of time. We can't interrupt the flow of the tournament, but we still have a bit of time before the matches
Yeah.
begin, right?
Yeah. You have a little bit of time before the matches begin. So because this was mainly an Aeon and Quiwa move to like reset the board to change things around, if Baohu and Sato want to like do something before the tournament, now is the time. Y'all's actions were change pairings
Okay.
before today's events. Because this is the like I have a little play cycle, and this is the prepare for the tournament section of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare for the match.
Quiwa.
You go first.
Yeah,
Me go first. I'm trying to figure out a way to rig my match.
Yeah, this is the space for the rigging of the matches. Poison lychee berries, classic maneuver.
For Aeon's part, which he's not doing anything active, he's skittering back to his room. He didn't actually realize the fact that he's up against the mob now. He's just glad that the pairings are all right, and he already wanted to go back to his room to fiddle with some stuff anyways. So he's keeping his head down.
And slipped off to his room.
Yeah, I think I want to rely on my outlaw background training to slips. You know what? I'm gonna change the lemur's breakfast with some fermented fruit.
Mm, drunken lemur.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drunken lemur playstyle. All right.
Is this let's relying on your skills and training?
Let me check one thing real quick because I've got. I will just make it a trick. It's fine.
Or trick. Trick works too. That's a miss. Wow, we cannot roll today.
No.
Um,
Oh.
I do think one of the your plan goes awry almost immediately. You find some fermented fruit, but you don't actually make it to the lever with it. Like I don't know. It just kind of falls apart in your hands, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just in the kitchen that you've like slipped into, and you're just and like at this point the chef turns
yeah.
around because he's just works in the kitchen. It's not the lever didn't come with the chef. The chef is just here to help the lever get around to the tournament. So the chef's back there with the lever, like fixing breakfast too, and you were trying to slip in some things, and they turn around, and you're just holding handfuls of rotten fruit.
Yep. What do you think you are doing? My lemur would never eat food that terrible. Only the finest of pet food. Like something like that. It's a chef.
Yes,
Changing the
yeah, they're very offended at the idea. Like they don't understand why are you just holding piles of rotten fruit? Is that for the lemur? No, they don't eat. They eat. This is the smartest pie.
like
Very, very sorry. I thought I had heard it was a delicacy for Rima.
You get some skittering and some nuts thrown at your head as you are chased out of the kitchen, more or less. But yeah, no, it doesn't help you. You are embarrassed, or whatever the appropriate embarrassed condition is.
yeah, you have unique
Yeah, your
conditions.
conditions are different, aren't
Yeah. I'll go with frustrated.
That's fair.
Frustrated works, yeah. But yeah, no, this was just a total wash of them. This has not been Sato's morning. This is the second action you've taken to try to do something that has just not worked.
We all got up on the wrong side of the bed, it seems, today.
Yeah.
Bow, I think you were gonna try and help your match
doing
next.
something?
Yeah, I was having to Google. So, who's Bao facing again? It's
It's still the snowboarder.
Snowboarder. Okay.
You're still paired up with Shred the snowboarder.
I think Bao is gonna take for one of his many crystals, the classic Janamite, which is the creeping crystal, and he would like to essentially attach it to the snowboarder's like ankle somehow, and so it'll grow, and he won't be able to make it to the Pai-Sho match because he's gonna be encased in crystal.
Within like an hour. Yeah.
At least like a significant portion of him will be encased in crystal. Not like his whole body, but
so it's not going to keep him. Yes, you can make a roll to attempt to attach some creepy Janite crystal to Shred the snowboarder. I do think he will, regardless, he will still make it to the event, but he's on a shorter clock for winning the Pai-Sho match. Because
he'll run out of limbs to actually move the tiles.
Before he has to beat you before he's totally encased in crystal.
Okay, so I think this is how Bao's gonna go about it. He's gonna approach Shred and go, "Hello, Shred. It is me, the Crystal Champion. I would like to present to you this special ring to commemorate this bodacious moment. Oh yeah." It's like I give him the ring.
You're gonna trick him to putting it on?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Shred. I think he's down for that.
Do you have to roll to trick?
You do have to roll a trick. Like it's not gonna work automatically. He's not automatically like, you know what, friend? Yes, I will put on your strange crystal ring.
Can I crystal babble at him because I am a collector, using my background of
Ooh.
collector?
Ooh.
Yeah, you can. We'll let you attempt to crystal babble.
Like,
Shred does not seem like he knows that much about crystals.
are
He
you
knows
doing
more about fine powder and.
Are you doing one of those things where, like, this crystal, like, in wrestler voice, that, like, this crystal is imbued with energy and brings good luck to your aura, and like,
Yeah,
you're gonna new
like stuff
age
like that.
crystal sell them on it.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because that's a lot more likely to be true in Avatar.
It really is. How do you try to? All right. So before we get to the crystal babble bit, what do we do to actually get this available with Shred? Like, where do you run into him? How do we meet up with Shred in this bit before the event today?
I'm
Before
gonna
today's
guess he's at the
match?
pool getting some water.
He could be doing Shred's equivalent of swimming laps, where he is just using. So yeah, you meet him in the lap pool room. Shred is doing laps, but not in the pool. He is simply siphoning water out of the pool to
Yeah.
power the hamsterwheel of snow that he snowboards on.
Mm-hmm.
As he's running some laps to get some exercise in the lap pool room.
Yeah, so this is where I will approach him and give him a customary, like, ring of good luck that is.
Yeah, so
the
yeah,
Christmas
you
crystal.
sit down, you go in the lap pool room, you wave, and they're like, "Hey, Shred, I want to talk to you before our match." And like he, does the turn stop and throws a bunch of snow at you.
Yeah, and then I assume this is my skills and training.
Yeah, you're gonna try to fool him into
Fool him
putting
with
on a
techno-
dubious crystal ring,
So
Yes,
you're rolling trick, but with your skills and training.
yes,
more or less.
Yep.
because it's a
Oh.
3 instead of a -1.
Yeah, he will. Regardless, he'll put on the ring, and like I said, he is still going to the tournament. You have not stopped him from doing the match.
Mhm.
But if he doesn't win, if you drag it out long enough, he will be encased in crystal, allowing you to default win, I guess, as
Yeah.
you have murdered someone.
Well, I mean, he can't hit his timer. It's like the chess timers. He can't hit his timer to stop.
Yeah, you'll let him out after the match
No,
is
but
done and
if
he
you're
loses.
encased in crystal, you're not encased in air anymore.
It's
So
fine.
you're dead.
Mhm.
It's just his arms that need to be encased in that.
Yeah.
Like, his head can be safe.
No, but
once-
it grows. But we've seen how it works.
It
grows
does keep
over
growing
all of
over your
you.
head, but it usually gets your arms before your head, and it's just that he loses when his arms are covered, which means his head is still uncovered when he loses.
And as we've
Yeah.
learned, once it's on the platform, it goes. So if he's yelling, foul.
Oh no,
it
platform was day one.
Yeah, they're not going to
battleground
do
repeat the
something else
same
for day
thing.
We're not
two.
gonna reuse
of
the
course
platform
not.
battleground.
Yeah.
Once the game starts, he went into the game with the ring on. I didn't do anything from that point.
Yep. It's too late.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, today is the dungeon round, where deep within the bowels of the castle there is
This looks
a
familiar.
big flat room of stone. It's very similar to the ground you slept the night on last night, Quiwa. But this is the part of the dungeon that is for show.
So it's actually like really nice. It's like a haunted house, like Disney World version of a dungeon,
Yeah.
where it's not what
you're
you
in
really
a
see.
big, like, I don't know, 20 square, not 20, like, honestly, like 1,000 square foot room under the castle.
Mhm.
It is lined on two of the walls with cells made with brass bars. The cells are full. The people are wailing for help. You're not sure if they're actors or not.
Okay, Quiwa's definitely going to read that. And then I think you said that Aeon and Quiwa didn't have time to.
Your preparation before the match was messing
Was
with the pairings.
Perfect. My preparation made things harder. Excellent.
Yeah. I mean, everyone gets a chance to do something after they know what they're paired with to
Yep.
make their situation better.
That's true. And we made someone else's situation better instead.
Yeah. So yeah, you do see Stoneface appear in this room. They're happy to participate in today's event. You get like a wink from Stone, like not a wink. They wanted winking.
Like a nod.
You get an
Yeah.
up nod from Stoneface.
I nod
as the
back
group
at them.
of you
Yeah.
make your way into this horrifying room. There's glowing like braziers on like the walls in between the cells and stuff, so it's fire lit.
Braziers?
And as you approach, there's like hexagonal sections that kind of sink into the floor, providing a bench, and in between the bench is the Pai-Sho table that is at floor level. It's like little Pai-Sho pods they've assembled there.
Are we all playing simultaneously again?
I guess it's standing again. Yeah, it's all simultaneous again for maximum dramatic effect.
Perfect.
But it's once again like the standing room. So like the floor lowers a little bit around, like it steps down. So it like is the little ridges.
But
you
instead
can
of the audience looking up at the people playing, now they'll be looking down. It's a lot easier to tell what tiles are being played. To be fair.
Yeah. So there's. You're right. I forgot about the audience. Where's the audience is on top of the cells. So there's the cells with the screaming, wailing prisoners inside. They've been going the whole time you've been in there. And then on top of that are mezzanines in which the audience is sitting on.
Quiwa is very much trying to gauge if the if the prisoners are actors or not. Because that feels like a big deal, because if we realize that there's this many screaming, wailing, real prisoners, we might just do a full-on prison break instead of a sneak one person out of the castle thing.
Yeah, I'll give you an assess the situation on this battleground.
Okay. There we go. Does that include a roll? It does include a roll.
Ooh.
Okay. I have some moves. I'm not sure if they're applicable for assess. I can always ask who or what here is most vulnerable to me.
That's an assess thing.
That is an assess thing. I just got it. It's called punch where it matters. I don't think I have anything else that affects assess. So that's...
Well, actually, sorry. That is an assess thing, but the way it phrased, to me, that sounds like even if you fail, you can always ask this question.
That is what that one is, yes. So that's...
You didn't fail, you don't get a bonus question for it. But that is your default, even on a 6- you get...
You can always ask means you don't have to spend hold on it.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
So I guess you get a
when
bonus
you assess
question
the situation, you can always ask.
So I'll ask that later, but I think my first one is who or what is in the greatest danger? So again, kind of gauging the prisoners first and being like, are they actually stuck here?
Greatest, like, physical danger? Honestly, it's some of the rich, like, the players are unreasonably competent compared to your average, like, citizen.
Mm.
When you look around, there's like at least one guy with an axe on his back at the Pai-Sho tournament. Like
this might turn into a bloodbath afterwards.
But my point is, due to the nature of the Avatar world and what characters this game thinks are interesting, the Pai-Sho players are abnormally competent when it comes to combat compared to your average citizen. The prisoners don't really seem like real prisoners. You were in their real prison last night. You were the only one on that cell.
Their prisoner, okay. So their cells are way too clean and too packed.
No, there's a back door. You see the back door on the cell.
Okay, perfect.
There's a back
really paid extras.
So the answer, the true answer to the question of who's in the most danger here is Aeon.
Aeon,
That's
yes.
true.
Yeah.
Aeon and the rich, like, spectators are in the most
This-
danger if, like,
okay.
something goes wrong.
Yeah, those who are not actually players, who therefore are also not formidable in combat.
Yeah, they're not nearly as, like, some of them may be, like Hanto, but not nearly as much as the average Pai-Sho player, it seems.
Okay. My next
Like,
question
at
is,
least two of them Wolf
if I
Baby can take out.
lose, what is my best way out before getting like captured? Like,
What do you mean by if you lose?
so normally if I lose, I like either get kicked off the island or I'm like confined to my room. I assume guards come towards me if I lose the match in Pai-Sho.
Future House. It's the weird Future House thing again. Where like you just once again restricted to the dining hall in your room basically
That's fair.
after you lose.
In that
But
case,
you have till the next day's pairings to kill Wolf Baby
that's
in his
true.
sleep.
So
Wow.
okay, so I'll switch my question from what's my best way out and through. I think I'm gonna go with what here can I use to completely put the 4-year-old off their game?
All right.
Handy.
The thing is, my +1 from this is actually going to stack with my previous +1, because the previous +1 forward against this wolf kid was not from an SS.
Yeah. See, Wolf Baby's biggest weakness is that he's 4 years old.
Yes.
If you, as ferocious and bitey as this 4-year-old is, if you severely injure the child, you'll gain an advantage. Alternatively, you could play off the fact they're 4 years old and find some other method of bullying him or some otherwise taking advantage of the fact you're playing a game against a literal child. You will get an advantage.
Perfect. I go up to Bao real quickly and say, "Can I borrow some of that crystal that you gave to the other guy?"
I will take out like a carrot-sized portion, bite off a bit of it, and just hand you the rest.
Thank you. I am literally going to offer this baby some candy.
He's gonna bite into it, and it's gonna break his teeth.
It's fine. It's rock candy.
Yeah, offering him some rock candy, I do think that's a good one. Yeah, no, I'm
I'm not going to do it immediately. I'll do it during the match, of course, because that's the best way to do it.
yeah, that's a good one.
And then my last question is my ability one, which is what here is vulnerable to me? Who or what here is most vulnerable to me? It's actually specifically what it says.
Most vulnerable. What you can pull the wool over Aeon's eyes real easy. So there's that. You could. It's all he wouldn't see it coming. Nearly at all. But most vulnerable to you. I mean, the weird rigidity of the system of this tournament. I keep harping on for a reason because that is like the biggest inbuilt advantage you have is the weird rigidity of this tournament.
Like things get locked in real easily, so if we can take advantage of that.
Yeah, which you've already figured out for yourself that like that is an effective method of interacting with this tournament is if you can play with the rules, everyone's kind of stuck by them. But as far as in this specific moment, like in this tournament, like section for this before today's match, like the thing that you can most easily take advantage of, is the fact that the people in charge thought you were going to be in jail and not make it here. So you can kind of make a show about you being here that will cause more damage than you would otherwise, because it's like, oh, they couldn't do a thing and they can't stop you from continuing.
Once I'm
kind
in
of
public
thing.
here again, yeah.
Yeah. So winning in a showy manner would, like, that's something you can take advantage of. That will have an impact if you can
Okay.
succeed in a showy manner.
Okay. Perfect. That's all my questions. I think I'm good. Do we step forward? I don't think Quiwa isn't going to show up in a showy manner. I assume that at least some of them, like, the fact that Quiwa wasn't in her cell when morning came and someone presumed to, like, come talk to her or something like that, and she wasn't there, probably means that they're not completely unaware of it. Um, that said, I think she's gonna play more for the, like, the showiness will be more in the win than the appearance.
Yeah.
Aeon, even now, is kind of off in his own head. He seems to be trying to work or invent something. He's not even really focused or realizing that he's in the middle of like a giant prison with screaming people, or the fact that he's up against his against mob opponents. And he's probably not going to figure that out until he's at the Pai-Sho board and forced to actually look up and see them.
Oh, that's when you realize that. That's when
Yeah.
you're. Excellent.
This is gonna be great.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, Aeon, when you go to like get in position at your table, the camera kind of stays with you and it turns when you like look up at your opponent, and it's the three big mob guys just grinning down at you.
The eyes just, widen and like hands clamped to sides and is like, hello?
Yeah.
Perfect.
And they just kind of laugh, and it's like, nice to see you, kid, kind of thing.
I'm assuming they
I
laugh predatorily.
Yeah.
hope we'll have a good match. Just looking over her shoulder, where are the other people of my friends? Probably add something along the lines of, sorry that I keep restricting, because no, wait, I'm not supposed to talk. And then instead of finishing that sentence, I'll just nod and look down at the board.
Perfect.
Cool.
I
The
wanna.
lemur doesn't say anything to you, Sato, but does make a stinky face at you as you
Yeah.
show up.
It's
goes,
you. I know what you did. I want to check
Yeah, you
something
can take a
before
break.
I begin. If someone, like you said, there's stairs down and stairs up. So if someone,
Yeah, well, it's more like ziggurat-y kind of steps. Like the floor drops down in like stepped portions. So you're
okay,
standing in front of your Pai-Sho table that's at floor level.
okay,
It's the opposite of the giant pillar system from last time.
yes,
Are you saying this is a reverse ziggurat? Like,
Yeah, it's an
in a certain
inverse ziggurat,
town?
but it's somewhere between an inverse ziggurat and a conversation pit.
Mm.
Because there's still a like floor level Pai-Sho board that you're all like at arm's height for you to play with.
if you leave before the area before your match is done, do you lose?
I mean, no one's gonna wait for you to take your turn if you're not there. They're just gonna go again.
Perfect.
But yeah, and with that ominous way that you're gonna trick a child, we're gonna go on break.
Yeah.
It's better
Yeah.
than injuring them. It's fine.
Oh yeah, and who noticed Shred has a counter
Where's Shred?
Oh, he
under
does.
you. Shred has a counter. When the counter's full, Shred's encased in crystal head to toe.
And then I
Perfect.
win.
4 is dead for Shred.
Oh,
Yeah,
was he?
Four
Wait,
is-
let
four
him
is
out.
dead.
3?
Yeah, 3 is win. 3 is you win,
Four
but
is
4 is
dead.
he dies,
That's
or
the
at least
important
starts
point.
suffocating, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you will not survive being at 4 for more than like 1 action afterwards. This is the salient point. You do not wish to murder your opponent. You must beat him and save him before he reaches 4.
Before he stays at 4 for one round.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We will be back in just a few minutes with part 2, and we'll see how this goes.
Yep.
Okay.
Hopefully the rolls will be better and I don't lose to a fucking lemur.
Yes.
That would be a little bit embarrassing. Yeah, it's a weird
Hello.
combination of. Oh, sorry.
We're back
Hello. We're back.
with part 2 of
Yeah, part 2.
episode 2 of book 3
3.
of Avatar Legends Pai-Sho edition.
Yeah, I'm stalling until I can figure out what your opponents are taking their moves for in combat.
That's fine. I want to
You
make that
don't,
much
I have a
harder
thing-
by proposing something to you, Indigo.
Okay, now is the time to propose.
I want to try and make the child give up the match before it even begins, if possible.
Before it begins. You can make the child try to give up the match. But you can't take an action in the match this turn as a result.
It would be instead, okay. So, like,
that is the bargain I'm offering. Yes, you can attempt, but failure means that Wolf Baby got a free turn.
I'm going to do it still. I have 2 +1s against them, one from the assassin, one from before. So, I'm going to do it. So I think what Quiwa takes out the green crystal rock candy that was given to her as we're like sitting in front, but like as everyone is sitting down and the kid is there and Quiwa is there, and I'm assuming her parent, I'm assuming his parents are like watching from above carefully. Not
Wolf
like,
Baby?
well, his real parents died, but I assume he's like caretakers.
Oh.
He's just there by himself,
Yes.
fully.
It's Wolf Baby, yes.
Oh.
You'd have caretakers.
I thought he had a caretaker when we first introduced him.
Yeah.
Or like a
Oh,
manager.
Or there's someone that was like, he has like a manager figure.
That's kind of what I meant, yeah.
Yeah,
Manager / babysitter.
They're in the crowd. They're on the mezzanine.
Perfect. Quiwa wants to offer the kid some of the rock candy. She breaks off a chunk because it'll go back. Offers the kid rock candy, and she is going to try and tell the kid, like, yeah, no, like your manager gave this to me to give to you, and he has a lot more if you want to get some. And she's going to try and convince the kid to just, in the middle of the match, get up, crawl up the steps of the upside down ziggurat towards the manager, and just completely walk away and ignore the game. Because candy.
All right, so I think one of your +4 words is making that happen. Your knowledge that you can take advantage of the child this way is the fictional positioning you need to make this happen. You could use the other +4 word as a +1. But this is kind of an outlandish get the baby to leave the match entirely. So I do think it costs you something being that 1 +4 to make that.
Okay, I will begrudgingly accept. Okay. And then I am tricking the kid, obviously.
Yeah, this is totally a trick.
And do I have anything else that helps with trick that I care to use? I do not think so. It already uses my best stat. Okay. Should I roll it now, or should we wait?
I also have a thing to do before the fight, but I think it makes sense for you to roll it.
Yeah, we'll roll it now, and we'll talk about what happens in a little bit about it. So we're offering the candy to the baby. The baby gets the candy no matter what, and you.
Yep.
How did you roll well on this one?
That's not mine. That's not this.
Okay.
That's my previous roll. I haven't rolled yet.
All right.
This is my roll. Add a +1 afterwards. Even
14.
better.
Even
Dang.
better. Oh, that's fair. Okay. I can't do wolf baby, but whatever. But yeah,
Yep.
so you give wolf baby the candy, and then we switch over to Aeon.
Okay, I think that Aeon, like, he was stuttering a little bit. He was looking down at the board. He took a moment, looked down at the board, composed himself a bit, and then he just kind of looks up at the 3 mob members at the other side of the board and says, just so you know, my beating your friends wasn't a mistake. I beat them fairly, and I will, no matter how many of you are on this chat platform, beat you too. Enjoy the match. And what I am doing is throwing out challenge.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Yes, this counts for a fight for challenge.
Yep.
Yes, it does. But to make it funny, because you did say no matter how many of you there are, one of them in the back does stick 2 fingers in his mouth and whistle, and like 3 more come down.
Just before the match begins and they're locked in, they jump
You
down.
said you don't care how many. Like 3 more show up.
Well, it kind of makes sense
Yep.
because the whole thing is choose an extra
They
technique.
get to use an extra technique every turn. So that's why.
All right. Well, I'll make that roll if you're all right with it.
Yeah,
Uh,
you have to roll for passion.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
So
Well.
clear fatigue at the end of the fight if you are victorious. Whew.
Yep. The goon squad grows.
Yep. They teared up and their gang grew.
Oh, I really want to win this.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Bahu, you do see Shred, his entire arm he shows up with his entire arm encrusted in crystal, and he's just swearing with like his head off. He's very mad at you. You have tricked him. You are not an honorable fighter. We'll see this. We'll take this to the slopes if we have to.
The Crystal Champ can beat you at Pai-Sho or on your silly slope, Shred. Ooh, yeah. Just-
Yeah, and the lemur is once again still giving nasty looks to Sato, and the chef is just kind of sitting in the background of the like pit,
Mhm.
and the lemur's just crawling around the table, like
I could imagine the
Like
chef
lemurs
Pacing like a
occasionally.
lion.
I could imagine the chef occasionally steps forward to refill the lemur's bowl of like gourmet nuts that it has on its sides.
yeah, it has like a snack pack.
Perfect.
So yeah, are we ready to start? We all have our moves.
Yeah. Do I still have to pick one?
No, your thing worked, but like narratively, it doesn't. Like, he doesn't immediately get up and
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Yeah. Quiwa is still doing
But yes,
that while
that will make
the
you
first
win
round
the
is
match
happening.
because you basically cheated. You took advantage of a baby.
I did not.
Instead of stealing candy from a baby, she
I
gave
gave
it.
candy to a baby. It's the most delightful, kind-hearted thing anyone can do.
Yeah,
The
but I think we
manager
are
on the
gonna
on the mess, and he's like, "No."
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we are gonna start with Sato and the lemur
Okay.
because you were the one we landed on last. All right. Oh, I should clarify. Just to remember the rules of our Pai-Sho. There are not specific things that you need to do, but the order of operations is you need to engage your opponent and then take them out. So those are the 2 parts you got to play with. It's you start as unengaged, you need to actively engage, and then you move in for like the finishing move. So it's checkmate. Yeah, and they're doing the same to you. But, the 2 engages aren't equivalent.
Mhm.
Just because you're engaged with them does not mean they're engaged with you.
hmm
So yeah, then we got to do our stance moves. The lemur is at the neutral one, so they get one action, right?
Yeah.
Because defend is before evade.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the Sato misses, but we'll get to that. What does that really mean? You get to sacrifice
You-
something to do a
If
basic
you
thing?
push yourself
Yeah, if
past
I
your principle, yeah.
shift my balance, and I can do a basic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But your balance is at +2 now, isn't it?
He just moved it.
That was
Yeah.
after he moved it. Okay.
Yeah. The lemur's going to attempt to seize a position. The lemur has a very strong opening play. And puts a very powerful tile down very close to the center there, making a strong opening. It's a chest opening kind of style thing. And then goes back to the bowl of nuts and is picking through, looking for the dried fruit. I can see the position, but that means that they can either engage with you or you can mark 1 fatigue to block it.
I'll block it.
Yeah.
Dig back. And well, I mean, I'm gonna take a chance that he's built like this. I'm gonna test his balance.
Ooh.
I'm gonna sit here and figure out what drives the lemur as I read his moves.
I think it's nuts. I think he
Might
loves
be
nuts.
nuts.
Oh, he was picking through the nuts for the berries, so obviously it's the dried berries.
Ooh.
Well, there's
Not
preferred
fermented.
treats, but nuts are a prime.
Yep.
You mark 1 fatigue to do it. You must ask what their principle is. They must ask honestly. You already know their principle. Acquire snacks. Like that's the main. If this is a trained lemur, the chef has trained the lemur to play Pai-Sho. So the motivation, it is food motivated. You have a
Okay.
food motivated opponent.
Fair enough.
That's the best way I have
Yeah.
to describe a Pai-Sho lemur. They're food motivated.
It's Po from
Yes,
Kung
it
Fu
is.
Panda.
Yeah.
So the drive for them is do what gets treats.
Do what
They
gets
were
treats.
trained to play Pai-Sho very
Yeah.
well.
They were drilled on a bunch of openings and how to finish the game kind of thing.
Hmm.
So
And
they
they
aren't
get
really
treats when they
strategizing,
do
they
it
just
right.
have their moves very set of
Maybe.
this is the
Yeah.
reaction you play to that thing.
And I think as a result of the way you learn this is you notice something when they make that opening move. The chef clicks something in his hand, and then the lemur gets a snack.
Okay.
So when the lemur does good, the chef's like, "Yep, get your snack." And that's what you learn is the motivation there.
All right. Yeah, that satisfies me.
All right. I think we move to Baohu.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Flip. It's like a mirror.
Yeah.
I will. Oh wait, combat techniques. Yes. Yeah, 11.
All right.
I'm gonna do. So on a 10 plus, I can choose. I will use 2 different basic or master techniques. First, I will do the classic Earth armor. I'll put it on my token. I have
You hold 3. So this is so that means Shred has to hit you 4 times
yes,
to win
and then
after engaging.
I will for my second move do.
So you set up a defensive position almost immediately.
And I
You
will
lay down a
engage
bunch
with.
You lay down a bunch of fodder tiles on the Pai-Sho board.
Yeah, and then I seize a position to engage with Shred.
Yes. All right. Shred will spend a fatigue to block your engagement as well.
Okay.
That's the safe thing to do. And then he's already a little bit peeved at you from, encasing of the arm. So he gets 2 from his balance. He's at, because it's 1 plus your balance for NPC actions. He's already at 1 from you having encased his arm in crystal.
Yes.
And how he's at 2 because it's 1 plus. So he's going to. Sorry?
What kind of NPCs are these?
I didn't have a full stat block for him. They had a balance that shifts to like
because
2,
balance
right?
of most minor NPCs caps at a lower level.
Yeah.
What's the cap?
Balance tracks are lower for minor NPCs.
One is too high.
1 is, I think, all they
Or cap, yeah.
might get.
Oh, if they're capped at 1, then he's capped at 1. But
So
that's
it would
only
be easy to
two
knock him
techniques
off balance.
because it's 1 plus 1, so he's still working 2 techniques per turn.
yeah.
So he's at the end of his track. If
And he's
I
at the
try
end
and
of his
push
rope.
him,
You have
he'll get
encased his
knocked
arm
off.
in crystal.
Yeah, he's mad.
He's mad. It is
Oh yeah, get better, bro.
It's the righteous versus like aloof balance track of a snowboarder.
Yep.
And you
I don't even
pushed him
care anymore. Yeah.
You pushed him onto the righteous side. So yeah, he's gonna do 2 evades. He's going to hinder you. Let's call it, what's the first level of hinder again? Conditions.
Impaired?
Impaired, yeah, not trapped. It was the one I knew it wasn't trapped. It's the one before trapped. You're impaired. He's limited your options on the Pai-Sho boards, as a way to stop you from engaging him.
Okay. Hold on, I also am favored with Earth Armor. Let me see that. Okay. Okay, nice. Cool.
Yeah, so you get more moves next time if you spend favor. Yeah, so hinders you. And then he's going to test your balance.
What sort of a person does this to their opponent?
He doesn't know your principle.
Oh, so he's asking what my principles are?
Yeah, because you're going so low as to cheat and encrust him in crystal.
The funny thing is, it's self-reliance and trust, and my trust is +1.
Your principle is trust.
Well, I have self-reliance on one end
others,
and trust on the other. Yeah, it's me trusting others, and I just used him trusting me to get him to put on the ring.
That's awful. All right.
Okay. Yeah, so he spends a fatigue. Okay, got it.
So he learns what your principle is. Next turn, he's gonna challenge the whole thing to try to push you off balance, I guess, because he knows he can't go fast enough.
Oh yeah, so then at the end of this exchange, does the crystal start to creep over?
Oh yeah, the crystal increases by 1.
Yes.
Yep.
That's why I did defend. I just need him to be encased in crystal.
Just gonna wait him out.
But remember, he dies at 4.
Right, but on 3 he can't make any actions.
Yeah, at 3 he can't make any actions. But that's not fair. It's so mean. Yeah, that's what happens that round over at that stage. Aeon, the Goon Squad, goes right for the kill.
So do I.
So do you. All right, so both of you, I guess, engage.
Maintaining eye contact while playing tiles. Okay,
Yeah, so you got to make your roll.
Yup.
But the goon squad is going to do the
8. Okay. It's not what I wanted, but can't always get what you want. All right. I think I'm going to obviously attack, and I'm going to engage with pressure. Just like I'm going to make it difficult for them to. I'm going straight in as an attack. I want them to not be able to use either defend or evade. What's really important here? I want them not to be able to use defend next time. So I'm
Cool.
just putting the tiles down very aggressively, as I presume they are.
Yeah, their approach is power in numbers. So theirs is the equivalent. They also get 2 actions, but
Yeah.
this time their 2 actions is because you gave them a bonus action.
Yeah.
So they're gonna strike with their superior numbers.
Okay.
Um.
I'll take that as a condition.
Okay.
Uh.
And then they are going to. And then, yeah, their sheer number is intimidating. So they're going to apply pressure for their second move.
All right.
You cannot attack.
Okay. I took troubled.
Cool.
This isn't working as well as I thought.
You gave them a bonus
Show! I
action.
can't let it show.
Yeah, and then Quiva, Wolf Baby, um, is sucking on the rock candy and does put a piece down, but keeps like looking up to the mezzanine for the manager that you had promised has more
Yeah.
candy.
Because it was like, yeah, he has more of it. And she's just like baby talking
Yeah,
him.
it is. And you're kind of just basically pretend playing Wolf Baby at this point because his mind's on the mezzanine now.
Yep. Perfect. I'm
we,
just encouraging him.
Yeah. As we move on to round 2. So, question: if I click the button "Remove Card," will it mess things up?
Shouldn't.
Okay.
Actually, what would remove card? Oh, like
It
right clicking it?
removed-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that just hit the delete key when you highlight.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
so now advanced attack is not in the deck.
Yeah.
So when you remove card, it removes it from the deck.
Yeah, that's what was causing the problem. All right, well, let me
we
switch
still
the
have an
decks.
attack card down on the floor.
Yeah.
Take?
Adding it back in. Here's the thing: when you look at the approach deck, it still says that it's in the deck. For some reason, it's just not selectable.
Weird.
This is why I made a backup.
See, I did the responsible thing and asked, and then I didn't wait long enough for the full response.
Is this gonna break everything? I'm gonna do it. Okay, there we go.
Make another backup, just in case.
Yep, that's a good idea.
Approval.
Duplicate deck. This might fuck things up. Hang on a second, because it shows up with the same name.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
Welcome to my world. There are 6.
Okay.
So the Goon Squad cannot defend, and you cannot attack Aeon.
Correct.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to. What does this do? How do you get from learned to practiced again? Do you just have to?
10 plus, and then you spend a fatigue.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
got it. It was the
That's just
first bullet point. My
mechanically
eyes
engaging
glazed over.
something.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this.
You gotta use it one time in like a real world application for it to be practiced.
Yeah.
Do we have a good repository of techniques that aren't? How deep is this? Oh, they are on here. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what kind of techniques a lemur would have.
It's obviously weapons.
I mean,
Weapon?
airbending.
Airbending? I guess airbending.
Yeah.
That does track. They are air nomad ones. I don't know. Maybe give the lemur a cool airbending attack.
It just flaps its wings and knocks your Pai-Sho tiles over.
Cool. All right. I'm ready.
All right.
Who wants to go first?
I
I mean,
would
I'll get
think
my
so.
shitty roll over first.
Yeah. It's time for the lever again.
Lemur fight.
Yeah.
All right. Ready for a failure roll? With my +3. Oh, it finally hit.
Oh,
There's a 9.
Ooh, you got a hit. All right.
Yes.
The lemur is going to use a cool. They're going to use an airbending style move where they kind of like pogs. You flick the discs. The lemur flicks one of the Pai-Sho tiles like a pog, sending it into an important position on the board using the cannonball airbending attack.
cannonball.
Excellent.
Of course.
So they engage with you, and you get inflicted a condition as a result of their flick of a tile.
Excellent.
Okay. Conditions. Those are immediate. Okay. Good. So
Some of these
I am.
airbending attacks
Are
are real
Or is it a
tumultuous.
That makes sense.
Like Breath of the Wind, you can stop it if you mark 4 fatigue. It's a real high cost.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeesh.
So I'm going to use patience. I gain prepared, and I could use an advance and attack technique.
Patience is a really good move.
Yeah.
Because it lets you switch from evade and observe into attack.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the free fatigue back from evading.
Yep. And then I am going to, I think, an all-out assault, just sweeping across the board with my Pai-Sho tiles, and I will use Fireblade.
Cool.
So I inflict 2 fatigue and impaired on them, however you want to justify that.
Yeah, they're impaired. It's an impairing attack. Impairing is a penalty for that status reference. Impaired. Choose one fewer technique. Cool. I just pulled the whole list up of them, so I would remember we got. Because Aeon's impaired as well, right?
No, I'm not.
Who is impaired?
I am.
You're impaired. Okay.
But PC is it's not one fewer technique.
Yeah. Cool. So the lemur has the impaired condition, and you're engaged with the lemur. The lemur is engaged with you. It's to the death next round, I guess.
Well,
with
the thing is, this is effectively a stun. He's at 0, so he has no technique to play next round.
Yeah. No, you have the lemur at your mercy at the moment. But we're gonna move on to Baohu.
Yes. I flip.
Yes, flip.
So first I clear a fatigue. Oops.
So to shred.
Mm-hmm. And evade and observe. Not with creativity, please. Harmony, please. Ooh, a 9. Okay. So that is 1 basic or master. Damn it. So first off, I will do so am I still impaired?
You are now officially impaired because you
Yeah,
Does
weren't.
that
you're
go away at
officially
the end of the round, or I
impaired.
have to do something to get rid of
You
it?
have to do something.
Okay, then I will bolster myself to get rid of impaired.
Okay.
You just hype talk yourself up and say,
Yeah.
"No, I'm really not
I
that
think it's more of like a flex.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, just a big flex. Then I will, because I have favored, do an additional one, which I will do to commit, recenter myself, shift my balance towards one of my principles. Next time I live up to that principle, do not mark fatigue. I will shift towards self-reliance.
Cool. Yeah. Shred, with his 2 actions like before, is going to first stomp his foot on the ground, activating creeping ice in the real world, as now your legs are encrusted in ice. Reap what you sow, Bahu, kind of thing. Oh, it's reap what you sow, Crystal Guardian, as now ice begins creeping up you. You're impaired as long as you remain in the ice.
Well, that comes back.
Yep, that's what you get. And then it's going to be once again pushing your principal with the guilt trip about locking him in ice
Mm-hmm.
or crystal. With the test balance. Really, like, are you really doing this by yourself? If you are, or are you really doing this all on your own? If you're relying on cheap tricks like this, is that really like he's pushing towards self-reliance?
Oh, okay.
Like, are you really truly defeating me with these cheap tricks? You like, and calling you a coward and stuff, and you can't do anything without like faking it.
Mm-hmm.
Reap what you sow, and you like when I'm frozen in crystal, you'll be frozen in ice, kind of thing.
The
Yeah.
Crystal Champion does not care what you think, Shred. Single tier.
I think at this point, both of you has stopped putting pieces on the Pai-Sho board.
We're
You're
just
kind of
staring at
just
each other
having a
talking.
conversation.
Are we still not engaged with each other?
Nope.
You're both
So-
setting up, yeah.
They're both
So-
just.
So we can't attack each other until we engage, or have a move that lets us engage and attack.
I mean, an
At the
attack can
beginning
also
of each
count.
exchange, can't you choose if you're engaging them?
Yeah, like if you do it, like the first attack you get off is the check, and the second one is the checkmate. Alternatively, you can use the defend action to engage, as well as another
Okay.
way to make that happen.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's just going into check and checkmate. So there's a little bit of interplay. So it's not like, oh, you got one lucky roll, you win.
Hmm.
But
No.
yeah, now I believe this fight has devolved out of the Pai-Sho tournament format. It is just the two of you trapped in each other's opposing elements as you talk to each other to see who's the better champion, I guess.
But now he can't play a move because he's got 3
Now he
crazy.
can't play a move. Are you gonna
Excellent.
beat up on this? Are you gonna beat up on him still? Like, that's what we're gonna find out next round.
Yeah.
Aeon, you got the mob, and they're attacking again.
I'm
They're
somewhat
going for the
unsurprised.
kill.
Considering they wouldn't let me attack, I'll do this. But I am wondering if... I think it's this guy. Yeah, this isn't playing. I mean, with the challenge, I kind of think that I am not willing to, I'm refusing to back down and leave.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, in which case I'll go roll with harmony, because I'm a very harmonious person, don't you
This
know?
is doing what you're supposed to do. Challenge someone big, and it's like, no, I got this. You're the.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm
Ooh.
horribly
What was that
harmonious.
big talk about? I'm good in harmony.
The dice.
So you can shift your balance if you want to do a basic.
Yeah, but it's just basic, not basic or mastered?
Nope,
Just
it's just basic.
Oof. You know what? I'm going to let it ride. I think... Nah, unless that happens. No, okay, I'll use a
Unless
defend.
they beat you this round.
Yeah, unless they beat me this round. I guess I'll move my balance. I'll shift it one more towards restraint, because that makes sense in this case. I did not mean to randomly roll that, but it went to the one I needed. And I'll use that to kind of get ready, knowing that they're going to... Oh, wait, that would be impaired to them next round, which would still be...
Yeah, but you are in our analogy check here.
Yeah.
You are engaged. They are engaged with you, so you can seize the position to disengage or attempt to disengage. Or
Yeah.
you can try to do something else.
Like, I'm interested in retaliate, but does that mean they just straight up win? Because they haven't... I'm a little confused at the mix of the Pai-Sho and battle systems.
Yes.
Sorry.
NPC size, they normally have a fatigue cap, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. They already spent some amount of fatigue, right?
They only have 3 as a minor NPC.
Yeah, they pressured and struck last time, so they did not spend any fatigue. They have 3 fatigue to spend, so that is another angle on it. If forcing them to spend fatigue works like regular combat, because that's how it works for you guys.
I guess it's a matter of, if they get this attack off, do I just auto lose, or are we still going into this last round here?
Oh no, you would lose if they get an attack off and you can't disengage or have some other thing. Retaliate, heal yourself for the blows every time they get dished. You could theoretically fatigue them out with retaliate if they if the attack action they pick, there is a bunch of them, so they probably will be doing multiple chunked attacks.
Fair enough.
Retaliate, you could fatigue them out and call it a draw. That would draw the match out. It would be a draw because they can't go on, like they're out of pieces or something, and can't keep playing because they were playing
Exactly
them too
what I did
fast
last
for 6
round.
people.
Fatiguing them out seems like a less sure thing. I think it might be sensible here to... I wonder... I guess disengage from my side, but I just said the thing that I wouldn't narratively do that, so I don't think that makes sense.
Well, disengage in a game board sense, meaning you just remove the mechanical
Yeah.
in Pai-Sho alignment for them to win the game in the next move.
I think that's what I'll end up doing there.
Yes,
just kind of
you
circling around
make
on the board.
Yeah, you make a
them follow.
desperate move and sacrifice a tile, but
Yeah.
you avoid like a direct shot from them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then it is their turn. They get 2 moves because for some reason you let them have 2 moves.
Of course. I can still win.
Sure. It's a great idea. They're gonna use a group attack combo. Focus fire. They spend one of their 3 fatigue. You take 2 fatigue and a condition, as they absolutely pummel you. This also means they're once again like engaged.
Okay.
With you. They're not gonna go straight in for the kill, but you do get a negative status. What is the I forget. I know it's impaired, but I'm really just hoping there's more statuses
There's
than
stunned, there's
impaired.
trapped, and doomed.
Yeah, but Stun, Trapped, and Doomed are
yeah,
fairly
they're
not
sequential.
Yeah. I think it goes impaired and then trapped and then doomed. And stunned,
Well,
I think, is like a separate thing.
Doomed is different. Doomed is
different,
like
yeah.
doomed is a damage over time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they are technically different, but unless you're narrowed, yeah, there's only one minor one, and the others are huge.
Yeah, I think because of the back and forth of them pressuring you to be engaged, and the that they're gonna use the smash move, spending their second of 2 fatigue.
Okay.
To inflict the trapped condition on you.
Okay. Can we put that in chat so I can see what it is easily?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Fun.
And you are engaged and trapped.
All right.
You got one more round. Your clever maneuver bought you 1 turn.
Hoping for a roll so badly right now.
You need to roll. Yeah. And then Quiwa, by this point you realized Wolf Baby has missed his last turn. He's still sitting there, but he didn't take his last turn.
Yep.
You didn't see, and you just played anyway.
Yeah, I'm continuing.
You're on easy street. It seems.
Most of my challenge, I think, is to make sure the kid make sure the kid doesn't remember that he's in a Pai-Sho match, and so I'm just like with like most of my body, I'm engaging with the kid in baby talk and like stuff like that, and playing with him, and with like one hand on the side, I'm like playing Pai-Sho and setting pieces when I think it's my turn, and just like don't worry about it, it's fine.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm up to.
Cool. All right. We'll move on to round 4. The last round, Shred will be with us.
Don't worry. I think I can knock him out.
3.
You think you can take him out? Okay.
Because he has 3 fatigue, right?
Yeah, he also has 3
Okay.
fatigue.
And then if he's knocked out of fatigue, he's knocked out of the match.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, got it. Let me double check. Hold on.
Because fatigue takes you out of stuff anyway. So
Yep.
it's only fair that.
Well,
Um,
no,
Technically conditions do,
conditions
but, you know,
conditions do.
Yeah.
So technically, with them being a minor NPC, they only have one condition, so it's fatigue plus 1 knocks them out.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Not that fatigue directly takes them out, but there is a direct track of inflicting fatigue
To
to
knocking
take
them out,
someone
yes.
out of a combat.
oh, but I can also just do a condition. Do 2 conditions.
if you can do 2 conditions at once, then they're dead. Like,
Yeah.
they're knocked out straight up.
I might be able to do that. Yes, I can. Okay, I know what I need to do, but I don't know if I
can't
have the
take an
strength to do
action.
it.
Fred
Let-
can't take an action
Strategizing.
because his arms are kind of like
Hmm.
more or less like T-posing in crystal now. He can't move his arms. Because he's like kept reaching his hands away to keep as much mobility as possible
Yeah.
the whole time, so he's more or less
Now he's
T-posing.
T-posing?
Yeah.
Okay.
The lemur, I believe, was engaged last time.
Yep, he's engaged and impaired.
Oh, and
Um,
impaired, meaning that he also cannot take an action.
Yep.
The mob, on the other hand, is very much ready for this.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
This is fine. Sipping while the house is on fire.
So let's watch the merciless kills first, as we once again start with the lemur, who can't do anything.
Yep.
Ah.
Oh, thank
great.
Christ. Okay.
14.
So I'll just describe what happens because
Yeah,
it's
you
funny.
win. You win.
Yeah, well, the manner in which I win.
Of course.
So instead of going after him on the Pai-Sho board, I think what happens is Sato starts imitating the click so that the lemur thinks he's getting a treat, and he like runs back to the chef, and I do it a couple times till the lemur gets frustrated, and then I look at the lemur and say, he owes you some food. I saw it in his pocket. Basically what I'm doing is invoking seek vulnerabilities, which allows me to the next time I inflict a fatigue or condition on them, I may also shift their balance. If I know what their principle is, I can do that twice.
Yep, this is the
And then I'm
intent.
going to use patience to inflict a condition with Fireblade again,
Yep.
or fatigue. And I want to basically knock the lemur off balance so it attacks the chef
Yeah,
and goes
I think
after the food.
I think you get the lemur like throwing the hat across the room, just like jumping up and down on the chef as you casually finish the Pai-Sho match and win. Yep. Now who? You are torturing a sports star?
Yes. So I'm advancing and attacking.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Helpless individual.
Yeah. So let's see here.
You are also impaired because you are trapped in ice.
But I can
Nope.
spend a fatigue.
Yes, you can.
I will do so. Hold on. Do I have to spend a hold? To negate 1 condition or 2 fatigue inflicted upon you. You must spend hold at least 1 whenever an incoming attack would inflict fatigue or condition. Does that count?
I don't
He's not
think
attacking.
it's the attack.
Okay, so I
He explicitly
will
cannot
just
take
spend the
action.
fatigue.
Okay.
I will roll advance and attack. That's a hit. So on a hit, I can do so many tabs. Okay, 2 different. No wait. one basic or master technique, but I'm still, because of my earth armor, I am still favored, so I could do another basic or master technique. So I will first do this. Mark 1 fatigue, inflict 1 condition or 2 fatigue. I'm going to give him a condition.
1 condition.
And then I will do, for a basic technique, strike a foe in reach, forcing them to mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift their balance away from center, their choice. But mark 1 fatigue instead to choose to hammer them with your blows, forcing them to mark 2 fatigue or strike where they're weak, inflicting a condition. I'll spend another fatigue.
Either way, it takes them out.
Yeah.
Either choice is too much for Shred at this point.
Oh, so I don't need to mark the fatigue to knock them out?
You have to mark the fatigue because
Otherwise, they could shift their balance.
otherwise they can shift
But his
their
balance is at the end anyway.
balance is at the end anyway.
Does he have 2
So-
fatigue to spend?
That's the thing. You don't have to mark the fatigue because Shred does realize if he doesn't stop, you're gonna kill him. Because remember,
I was thinking I punch him out of the
4,
crystal as I win.
yeah, but that's what I mean. Remember, at 4, he's done. It's coming up his neck now. He's not really in a fighting mood about it. So he's not gonna do because you don't have to spend it because the strike gives him one option that won't make him lose instantly. But that one option will make him die from crystal.
Oh, so he chooses to lose instead of
chooses
die.
to lose as opposed to be totally encased in crystal, because
Got
that is the
it.
dilemma you have given with your
Given him.
opponent. So yes, you don't have to spend the fatigue, but you also
We're the good guys.
defeat your helpless opponent.
Oh, yeah.
Look, we have to win. You don't understand. This is
And
why
yet
the
another
tournament-
one of the Crystal Champion's opponents is ushered out of the tournament hall in a stretcher.
I punch him out of the crystal as soon as I win.
Yeah, but then you punch. So he wins. So this is what the crowd sees. He doesn't take any actions. You beat him at Pai-Sho, and then you punch him in the chest, and he flies out of a block of crystal. This is the view
That's
of
about
the
right.
crowd on the situation.
This is the Crystal Champion's heel turn.
Pretty much. And yet another opponent is escorted out of the tournament hall in a stretcher
stretcher.
after playing the Crystal Champion in Pai-Sho.
I also steal his Pai-Sho tiles that he left.
Of
Of course, naturally.
Mhm.
You punched him out of the ring. All right. Now on to the mob and Aeon.
Alrighty.
Huzzah!
Surprisingly, this is Now let's see what the roll says. Oh boy. Come on. It's a 7. A 7 is not nothing. Okay.
What do you got?
So
They have one
they're-
fatigue and 2 conditions remaining.
You can use a
They have-
master technique if
yeah, I can use a master's technique. They have 2 fatigue and they have 1 condition remaining.
I think it was the other way around.
Yeah, they've spent 2 of 3 fatigue.
So you have
And
one
they
fatigue
have-
left.
1 fatigue left, 2 conditions left.
Oh, okay, 2 conditions.
Well, 1 fatigue, 1 condition.
but you'd have
undone,
to get a
basically.
second condition in order to
Yeah,
actually...
but 1 over rolls over, and it takes
Yeah.
out.
I think I might be out of this, but I'm going to give it my best shot anyways. Ooh, what happens with a double knockout?
It's a
Oh,
draw.
never mind, not applicable anyways.
Then we move on to the martial version of the match like was threatened.
Yeah, like there's got to be a fight about it. So yeah, you figure it out. Losing does have some advantages here.
Okay, well, I guess here's one question. Any of them happen to be wearing metal?
I'm assuming they have some gaudy rings.
Well, I think as a last desperate thing, I'm going to give an attempt at Jolt, which has been my normal. Oh, that's not a mastered condition. Frat it. Okay, normal it is. I was not paying attention to that. All right. Um, I think I bit off way more than I can chew. I still approve strongly of this entire thing, but I'm just
You
doing.
gave them the only reason it's hard is you gave them an extra action.
I regret nothing. I do my absolute best, and I play my tiles, and I aim for a strike.
Okay.
Yep.
They take one condition, but it doesn't matter. They overwhelm you.
Because Aeon is my charge, can I use Protector's Burden to help there?
Subtly shift their footing,
Give.
make it so it goes into the wrong spot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you want to cheat for them.
they get 2 actions, is the thing. So yes,
I have
you
2
can. You want to draw this out another round?
I want
doesn't
Aeon to
work in
win.
I really want to win, so I'm for this.
Okay, how are you? They use the. All right, here's where we're at. They have no remaining conditions and 1 remaining fatigue. It is their turn. They spend 1 action. They have 2 actions. They spend 1 action on overwhelm.
Mhm.
All foes engaged with the group must mark 2 fatigue or 1 condition of their choice.
Right.
I can.
By you blocking it, you can spend your hold to do that. To like try to rip a couple of the mob members out of the pit, basically.
Mhm.
That's their first action. Are you spending something about it? If you
See,
don't,
said it's
Aeon
not a
loses the
Pai-Sho
match.
checkmate. I can actually take those conditions, but I think it is a Pai-Sho checkmate.
It is a Pai-Sho checkmate, but
Okay.
doing if nothing is done, that's what
Okay.
happens.
I'm using this part of my Protective's Burden thing, so I will spend a hold to like make them not do that.
Yeah, so you shoot like a cylinder of crystal up under one of their feet, and they place the tile in the wrong spot during the overwhelming attack.
Mhm.
And then they move on to their second action. Um, they can't spend any more fatigue, otherwise they're out of game.
Yep. Also, if there's no
So
fatigue to spend, there's just no fatigue to spend.
yeah, there's no fatigue to spend. They cannot spend any more fatigue. They are going to then strike. They're going to take the strike action.
Do I need
They
to spend my other
cannot-
hold so you can
They
win?
cannot mark fatigue, so you get to pick. But and that's about who spends the hold. That is you losing the
Pai-Sho
Pai-Sho
checkmate.
game.
So,
Hey, if you can tie next round, I will do it.
I should be like, because player goes first, they haven't stopped me from playing an attack. If I hit them in any way, shape, or form, they will be out. So I can win next round, 100%.
I will spend the hold to prevent them from beating you.
Aeon has never looked away from his opponents. He's just like, he's inside, like, this has gone so terribly wrong, but on the outside, he's just staring them down.
I did not think you would last this long. I thought that
I have
by
a guardian
virtue
angel, it's fine.
you only cheated a little bit.
It's only cheating you forgot.
That's a good point. All right. So, one more round of Aeon's game, and then we will have all won and or lost.
Yep. Is Aeon the last game going?
Yes.
Excellent.
All eyes are on this, like, last batch.
Absolutely.
This
You
is how I'm
do it.
narratively
Ionai,
justifying.
oh yeah.
Yeah, this is the narrative justification for why the Crystal Champion cannot keep doing that. Even though, like, mechanically you're at a pull. Narratively, it's because now everyone's watching. This match has gone on.
Oh, I
far
can't do it
longer
anymore
than-
anyway.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. But like,
Oh,
in
yeah.
in the fiction, it's because now everyone's watching this match. It's no longer in the chaos of all of the matches.
Makes sense.
They only have one thing they're gonna do. They're gonna attack.
Yeah, so am I. To the death!
To the death.
Not
Yes.
to the death.
To the Pai-Sho death, okay? Let's see what the roll says. Come on. 10! Finally! And I have the fatigue! Yes! I am doing this! Okay, so narratively what happens is, Aeon's arm reaches over the shoulder, over the, table to place a tile, like, really close to them, kind of obscuring the board a little bit, and as that happens, some firecrackers fall out, and, basically just start going off, and make it really, really hard to see the board for a moment. By the time the
Blinded by
firecrackers
science.
Yep.
is blinded by
Very good. You drop a smoke bomb on the tile. You can't see it.
You drop a smoke bomb and move their tiles around.
basically.
Amazing.
I think if I can, I'll do the 3 fatigue trap stun them. I'm assuming that's what's needed to take them out. If I can do it with less, I
Yep.
will, but
Yep.
Oh, wait, you could
need to
do,
spend it all. You need to spend it
fatigue
all.
is trapped
I'll
or
spend
stun.
it all. I've been carefully shepherding my fatigue to make sure this is possible.
Yeah, because you spent it all, you win. They can't really respond. Smoke covering everything, and they're out
I'm
of
removing
fatigue.
insecure because I don't have to. I can get rid of. Oh wait, no, sorry, wrong thing. We're good. Yep.
Everyone saw your underhanded tactics.
It wasn't underhanded. It was an obvious win. They saw when it happened.
Everyone admits that you win, but everyone saw how you did it. The mob saw how you did it, most importantly of all.
That's fair.
Most importantly of all, though, I won the challenge.
You
Mhm.
did win the challenge. What does that get you?
I can either learn a technique of theirs. I don't think I care. They're using group techniques.
You
They
can
could
learn the
technically
technique Overwhelmed if you would like.
Ooh. I could master it. Wait, but their overwhelm was a group technique, wasn't it?
Yes, it is a group technique.
Wait, I could learn a group technique?
Well, group isn't an official, like,
Yeah.
so.
You could, if you
learn
have
it.
a gang, like it's only applicable if you teach it to a gang to follow you.
Fair
Like,
enough.
that's what I mean.
Aeon's
That's
gang,
my
we
point.
definitely need this. No, I could get them to give me answers or an item of my choice. Meh. Acknowledge my superiority. That's not even really applicable with this playbook. Or I could get them to take my side.
In a future
Don't bring them
conflict.
into the.
Absolutely
Don't
what I'm
bring them
doing.
into the
I
conspiracy.
love now.
You beat them in the challenge,
You beat them.
so they respect
They
you
ad-
enough to take your
yeah.
side.
They admit that you've been defeated. You have not convinced them to help you. But if there's like a barroom brawl or something now, they're
Will
not
they
gonna
not
be.
fight us now?
Yeah, they're not. That's, I think, generally what I'm getting at here.
Okay.
Like, you're not. They aren't automatically on your side as far as like your secret mission. But in like a big barroom brawl, you're not going to get cornered by 4 of them and kicked out a window.
If I asked them to, would they come help?
We got to have a scene about it.
Absolutely.
So it's
All right,
possible.
well, I successfully did that match, and I rolled a 10+, so my 5 fatigue are no 0 fatigue.
Yep. You're invigorated by your victory.
I am invigorated
Mhm.
by my win. The mob respects me. They would use underhanded means too, so it's all fine. I said I'd beat them,
That
and I
kid's got spunk, I tell ya.
Yeah, just Mao's going like, "I told you he could beat you." Ooh, just like flexing and pointing at him.
Yeah. And then if I could get 2d6 plus 2 for Stoneface
Oh,
to see how, because you specifically brought them back with the means of helping. And
That's an
8
8.
is a mixed success, so they didn't quite win the match, but that doesn't mean they're out of the game yet.
I mean, yeah, we already saw that. So they lost, but they're gonna stay around.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that
Meaning that there's going to be another roll this evening to see if
who gets thrown out
Stoneface
the
is in the
window.
match.
Perfect.
is it fair to say that Natsu is, as we switched up the opponents?
Yeah, I mean, you can roll 2d6 if you're unsure.
I'm very sure she won.
Okay.
She's good at this.
She taught
Okay.
you everything you know about Pai-Sho.
No,
Uh,
he didn't.
Are
Nope.
Bao's
You
brothers
didn't know
still in
she
the-
played Pai-Sho until, like, yesterday.
No.
Oh wait, is Bao's brother still in the tournament? I know his other one didn't because they had to fight for a room.
Oh, right.
Is it 2d6
God,
plus 2?
Yeah, 2d6. No, 2d6 plus 1.
That's fair.
No, he's not.
No.
Nope, they're out. Totally out.
Or stalactite.
It's
Or
they're
might.
they're might and tight,
Might.
might and tight
Yeah.
because they're both the Stalag brothers.
Yep.
Yep. Nope, didn't make it. Hey, made it past round 1.
That's still impressive.
All right. Today's took a lot longer than I was expecting. I do not have time for the fight, so I'm glad that we fixed the mob fight
Yes.
before we got there.
So
Yeah.
on that
I'm gonna
note, in order to help reduce, Kuiwa's going to take a foolish action without consulting the rest of the team.
Cool.
Unfortunately, I don't have a thing that is helpful for. I have. Actually, yeah, no. I am doing a thing to assuage my guilt at from. So I look for the waterbender bodyguard guy because he showed up. He saw his name. He showed up thinking he would be playing, and then suddenly his name was gone. So I assume he was here. Like offendedly watching, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Perfect. So as a player, this is literally going to be in an effort to speed up this part of the game, because I think we need to spend more time, both in character. Quiwa and Spencer thinks she's going to start pivoting towards, like, we're going to go full rescue mission.
Yeah.
So Quiwa, in the aftermath of the match, she goes and finds, what was his name again? Sort of the T. Tonto?
It was Pana.
Pana. Okay,
Pana.
I misheard completely before. I go to find Pana.
Cannot be Tonto. There we already have Honto, Sato, Bato,
You're
and
right.
then Tonto.
You're right. So she goes up to Pana. She's still wearing the engagement necklace, and I think she's going to say close enough. I think she says, like, I'm sorry that I couldn't that you couldn't play. She says it quietly enough that it's obviously meant to be just the two of them talking. As she approaches him. We don't have to play it out if the whole conversation if we don't want to. Indigo, it's up to you.
I just give me your like opening piece about it.
She wants
Like,
to
your opening
offer him
pitch.
her place in the tournament.
Yeah, no, that's what I figured. I just meant like I just want like your opening like
Yeah, so
sentence
yeah.
to him of
The opening
conversation.
sentence is, "I'm sorry that you didn't get a chance to play."
And he looked like he's like, oh, I don't know what happened. He's very confused, kind of. He's kind of upset by the fact that he got kicked out. He's like, I need to go speak to the tournament organizer. I got to go speak to Honto about not Honto. Too many names. It is Honto.
It is Honto,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was the wrong name. It was the right. He's got to he's saying grumbling about he's got to go talk to Honto about this, or our honorable host
Yeah.
about this matter. I just had to wait till after the tournament. Hopefully it'll get fixed and I can play tomorrow.
Quiwa steps closer to him and says, looks around subtly to see if anyone else is listening. But then, assuming that they aren't, she says,
Wait. Doesn't look like anyone's listening.
"Okay." Never know with Stoneface.
Never know.
But she says, I may know something about that.
And you get like an eyebrow raise.
Yeah. She pauses for like a set amount of time before saying, don't you recognize my necklace?
You get another eyebrow raised.
The other
now
eyebrow?
it's a shocked face.
Yeah. She says, we'll talk more later tonight when there's less people around. She gives him her room number, basically, like meet me there, and we'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
And
So
she's just bringing him in without telling anyone else.
Yeah, cool. We're not going to play out the like nighttime conversation about that.
Okay.
But we are going to make the roll now for your plead for help, I guess, with the offer of you can take my spot in the tournament to help with our endeavor.
Yeah, and so after I do this, to shorten the thing, I tell everyone that I did it. Next time we have an opportunity alone, so he doesn't just show up suddenly with everyone being surprised.
Yeah, totally.
And then when he shows up, I'm good if we're all there, basically, in disguise or not. But I assume we generally keep our disguises on while here.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can roll to plead with him to help us, rescue Sato's kid. You said the roll was now?
Yeah, we'll roll now because next session's gonna be day 3. Like the time keeps moving.
Okay, we'll go quickly.
Session's a day.
Okay. Roll to plead. So, what's plead normally? Harmony?
Plead is normally harmony.
Perfect. I want to butter him up. Because that's kind of one of my moves is when I flatter or empathize with him. So I say he's.
I think by offering the spot,
that might do
helps,
enough.
It helps with the buttering up there.
Yeah, I literally just say he deserves the spot more and stuff like that. So
he spent so much time with Dama doing Pai-Sho
true.
stuff.
Okay, so I roll with creativity instead of harmony. Then let's do this. Plead. Oh, I'm just gonna roll straight because creativity. That is a 9. If anyone wants to help, that can be a 10, which is they do it here and now. They just join up. If someone spends a fatigue to assist, since we're explaining to him it as a group, if that's the case.
Oh, Sato's not there.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I can't because mechanically I want to clear angry by being mad at you and yelling at you for doing this without consulting the group.
Perfect. Aeon.
Can I mechanically clear insecure by joining in and doing something stupid without consulting the group?
Cool.
But
that is not consulting.
So you are or are not helping?
I am helping, yes.
Okay, by joining in on this. Okay. Yeah, I'm absolving guilty because I was guilty for getting rid of his spot, and this is very much a sacrifice to absolve that.
Cool. So on day 3, you will not get a pairing.
Correct. Yeah. I will not. Well, I'll be there, but I'm literally just gonna tell him to go instead of me, and.
Yeah, totally. What that's gonna result in is when the tournament's going on, you get the rogue background scene, and then hopefully. I mean, dramatically, the correct thing to do is set you up with a normal fight to run concurrently with all
we'll
of
see
the
how it goes.
Matches.
Good news about
we'll see how it goes.
If I get into a fight, that means I failed the sneaking.
Yeah, there's rolls before that, but this might just mean instead of a Pai-Sho match tomorrow, you have to go fisticuffs against someone.
It would be interesting to try to make the fight rules work for to set it up for a sneaking into things thing, like using the. Defend and engage means we can figure that out off screen, but that could be interesting to make a stealth minigame out of the combat system.
We've all read too much Mouse Guard to use the same combat system for every challenge.
Yep. Okay.
But I'm not opposed. I'm also in that category.
Sato's not there.
Yeah, what is Sato doing as opposed to meeting a new friend?
So yeah, we come back to Sato in his room putting on a bunch of black clothing and a mask and his armor.
Sato. All right.
And yeah, he slips out the window onto the roofed pagoda that's just outside. Yeah. Goes ninja running across the way. And is attempting to find a way to gain entry into that other tower.
Ooh, I like it. Okay. What is the So I see, I don't know, rely on your skills in trading is one option.
Yep.
Pushing your luck to just straight try to scale the thing and find an open window.
Nope, I got military and outlaw, so I'm good at armed infiltrations.
Yes. Yeah, I
So.
just think you have to like karate chop a couple of guards down on your way as you sneak into the tower is basically what this is going to be. That's a
Okay.
hit. All right, it's with something. What's the...
Do it, but imperfectly, I think is the thing. Hang on, where is it? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I say you make it in the tower, but there's an alarm that goes off. It is
No,
not
there's not. I mark a fatigue.
All right, there you go. I was gonna say it's not like a castle-wide alarm, but like guards have a alarm going off in like the guard rooms. But that doesn't happen. You karate chopped that guy. All right, you're in the you have infiltrated the far tower.
Okay. Oh, it's gonna come down to a creativity roll. All right. Well, I guess I gotta look for the kid. So
Yeah, you got to assess the tower as you go
yep.
room to room.
Boom.
That's a full hit. That's good. That could have gone bad. We could have visited the jail cells again.
Again.
So, is assess creativity really?
Yep. That's
Yep.
it's creativity is my best stat, so I assess a lot.
I never assessed, so I thought it was focus.
Dama just gets a bunch of free. It's not even Dama's best stat. Dama doesn't have any good stats. They're all ones and then like a 0. But Dama's whole thing is that there's so many free options he gets for assess that I do it all the time because it's automatic questions.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what's my best way through the tower?
Through the tower is more or less what you've been doing. Room by room. There's not a lot of like patrols going up and down the tower because the idea is there's one way in, one way out of the tower.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way through is that.
Okay.
Right? So small groups moving slowly will make you through if you can get in. Getting in is the challenge. To sweeten the pot, the best way out is on a zip line or through the window of some kind. Not going the way they expect out is the best exit method of the tower. Because once again, they're very reliant on the fact that you got to go down a tower for the whole defense structure of the place.
Okay. And what? I don't know how I'd use the +1 from this next question. Well, in terms of finding Koshiro, what should I be on the lookout for? I guess that's the easiest way to be like, I'm gonna find my son using this move.
You're gonna get a bunch of ticks on the get your son out of their clock from this stealth mission. This stealth mission worked. I'm assuming this is what Puma tried last night that failed miserably. Not specifically knowing it was this tower, but the same kind of action that just didn't work. You gotta get the experts in on this one. But no, you find like what's clearly like a tutor room, like a small study that is designed for tutoring that would be relevant. So you find that in this tower complex, and you're looking what you could use here to find your son. So you have hard proof that there are youths in this tower, more or less, from the schoolroom. As you keep going up, you do find a number of locked rooms. There is like on some of the upper levels, there are a couple guards that keep you from just like checking in doors. But more like I don't have a good answer for what here can you use to find your son, other than through this, you can narrow it down to like 1 or 2 rooms that he would be in.
Okay.
Like you find a couple of like, oh, this is a closet, oh, this is a bathroom, this doesn't have a lock on it. these doors are locked. This one looks like Hanto's room or Hanto's workshop or something. So you
This
narrow
one's
it
the-
down to like 1 to 3 rooms that he could be in. You have a rough idea. So if you go in with like exit strategy from the tower, you know where to go from.
Okay. I'm just gonna mark down some +1s.
Yeah.
And when I have an accurate, when Sato has an accurate assessment of the tower itself, he goes down just low enough that it won't kill him, and hops out the window, jet steps slowly down, and relies on his armor to take the brunt of the fall.
Yeah. I do think there's some fatigue that happens from that, right? That seems fair for jumping out a window.
I mean,
jet
I can
stepping,
jet
right?
step.
Yeah, use
Yeah,
the
I'd say without the jet step, like the jet step, you're right, fair, ignores that fatigue. But normally, without jet stepping, it would be a cost to jump out a window in like 3-point land, unless you're Superman or something. But yeah, so successful infiltration of the tower there. Cool. All right, I think we'll move on to the. Anyone else have anything this evening they're trying to accomplish?
Kind of.
We have Aeon and I'm basically asking Baohu at this point because Aeon and Quiwa worked to bring Pana in on the scheme,
Yep.
and Sato did a stealth mission. So when everyone's at their separate things, there's like the dinner after party of the day going on when this is all happening.
I think so. We're not going to learn about this until the morning, right? That you brought in the
No,
water. But
I probably, if we have time, I'll tell you. I won't go out of my way to tell you, but if we have time to be like alone, just me and anyone else, I'll tell them, like give them a heads up.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
None of you have seen Sato since the very start of dinner. Like, he was there at the very beginning of dinner, so no one would be suspicious about where the old man went. But he disappeared, like, before people finished eating.
I think
It also gets rid of
Sato
one of
could
my
take care of
conditions.
himself. Yeah, I think if Bao has that like one-on-one with Quiwa, he's gonna get mad at her and blow up about like we're bringing too many people in. A conspiracy cannot we're bringing too many people in on the secret. It's gonna get out before we get it right. Like you gotta consult with us before you go do something like that.
Yeah. Are you just being angry, or are you also trying to guide and comfort? Or guide? I guess guide and comfort might. Do you transition to guide and comfort after blowing up on her? I guess is my
Or
question.
to trying to move her principles.
You know what? Yes, I would also try to guide and comfort you, but I think I have a minus to that because I'm angry. Yes. So we'll see how bad it goes.
So, what do you need to do to clear angry? Because I might need you to do more. What does it say specifically?
To clear angry is break something important or lash out at a friend.
Okay. Yeah, I think you would need to try and guide me or call me out to live up to my principles for lashing out to take. Because I think Quiwa's right now kind of holding her ground right now. And she's very much being like, no, this was a good idea. We know him. We know how much he cares about family. We know how much he is against the Fire Nation. I think that even if it wasn't us, he might have leapt this chance anyways.
If you don't want a guide, I have an alternative.
Go on.
Mm-hmm.
Get mad at Quiwa and be like, I don't care about your stupid fiance and her boyfriend, and rip the necklace off her neck.
Ooh, would Spencer be okay with that?
Yes, as a player, I would be okay with that. Quiwa would be enraged.
Oh, yeah, for
but I'm
sure.
good with that.
You're angry.
Yep. Yeah. Bao is basically gonna go like, I don't care who you think he is. You knew them for a week before you did this, and he'll rip it off your neck and like hold it before you did this.
And then
We
we cut
don't
to
know
commercial.
them enough. I think he'll
Yeah.
like throw it down and leave, like stomp off angrily.
Okay, yeah, because Quiwa was going pale with rage. She was about to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we get the second end of that blow up.
No, we just see her. She just trembling, reaches down and picks up the thing.
If you're willing, I'd really like to narratively see Baohu stomping around the corner and then basically have Aeon just run up to Baohu, bubbling over with excitement.
Oh,
See that? I won that match. I beat the mob. I think they actually kind of care about what I have to think now. We could, bring them in on the conspiracy and they'd help.
The mob?
just grab you by the shoulders and go, I helped you do that. That was me. You would have been mob food without me. Just like, keep stomping off.
Oh, thank you. I guess I never got around to consult you for advice, because you're gone.
If you needed me for advice, I would stay, but I thought it would just be funny.
Yep, no, that's a good answer. All right.
Oh my god.
Are we ending, or do we have time for one little?
We do have
piece?
15 more minutes, and growth questions aren't that long, so we can keep going for a bit, I think.
Yeah, if you have like something, I just don't want to get caught up for it.
Yeah, we don't want to have a whole
If we have something else,
complex scene.
if people have a thing, we can do another short thing. But if no one has a thing, we'll move it to growth.
For me, big question is, hey, Baohu, do you actually want to give me advice, or do you want to leave Aeon free?
No, I'll give you advice. I thought you were doing that to come up to like try to be like all happy and he's all mad already. So
You just cleared angry. It's fine.
I'm just like, okay, what do you want advice about? Just
So you helped me, thank you. But like, should we have the mob? They'll do what we want. Should we bring them in? We could
there's
have.
one
They
thing
could help
that
us.
would be worse than having everyone know what we're doing here. It'd be the mob knowing what we're doing here. Hold back. We dodged we dodged an arrow. Just wipe our hands clean of the mob. They're not trying to throw us out a window anymore.
So just ignore them. Ignore the asset that we just got.
I don't think it's as much as an asset as it is a liability. Because then we're gonna owe the mob. Right now, everything's even. You never want to owe the mob.
All right. Do we want to roll the dice and see how well it hits?
Yes. So, make assault.
Roll with restraint.
Which at the
Your
moment is
restraint?
-2. Yes.
Wait, is it -2 or +2?
+2.
Okay, so just 2d6 +2.
Yep.
Nice.
All three.
All right. Well, I'm going to clear troubled from just talking with you, if that's all right.
That's fine.
The troubled clearing is, go talk to a mentor figure. And from this roll, if that's all right, I'll clear the other condition of insecure. Feel at ease offering their opinion. You get to clear condition or fatigue.
Oh.
Two fatigue or a condition.
I just have fatigue now, so I'll just clear 2.
And
I think once we go to bed, we clear fatigue anyway. So
Yes.
Yeah, 4.
you can shift my balance if you'd like. Or
well,
shift me off the edge of the track unless I don't agree with you.
I am telling you to show restraint right now, but I don't want to shift you off your track.
Then I think it's a matter of you get to shift my balance here, and then I have to not follow your advice.
Oh no.
Yeah, it says they shift your bounce. You can shift it the other way, though. I mean, you can shift it toward results.
So maybe it's a matter of, you're giving me this good advice, but I'm less taking it than saying, I don't think you're seeing the whole picture.
Well, the advice in total could be like, yes, they're an asset, but they will not give us the win condition that we need. Like involving the mob is bad.
Yeah, I think that is how I will push you toward result. Is this does not give the results that we want, because
All
then we might have to get the child from the mob.
Yeah.
Fine.
The
There'll
mob
be
will be
no
like, "Oh, you want this kid, do you? Well, we got this kid. How much are you willing to pay?"
Mm.
And that's why I kind of like the fact that the balance tracks are not exact opposites, because you can meld either way you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, if that's the case, I'm good with that roll. I think Aeon is just like, fine, I'll think about it. We'll see what else we can do to maybe
Mhm.
get the kid back. I did do some
Okay.
exploring. And yeah, we'll just fade
So
out on
yeah, and then I think Bao does want to go. You did good in the match. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's just like the heavy sigh of like, I blew up on him. I did not mean to blow up on him hard.
Totally. Cool. So now for the important part. How many? What do we do to advance our mission? Let's say finding an entry and egress to the tower is 1.
Mm-hmm.
Narrowing down the rooms is 2. Guard plans is 3.
And what is bringing in another friend? Because I think last time that wasn't a thing last session.
Oh yeah, Pada. Having another body. We got 4.
Okay.
course.
I think that's
speaking
fair.
of
Puts us
idealistic,
at
but
the
I think
halfway
that's
mark, I
very
think.
Yep.
Yeah, that's halfway.
I assume.
That's halfway.
Yep.
So I feel like we have our way in. Now we need to have our way out.
And we need to
Yeah.
deal with whatever's inside, because I assume he's not
That's
alone
true.
in there.
Yeah. You have filled the mission clock halfway. One player has been eliminated from the tournament.
I gave up, but yes.
You're out of the tournament. Is
Mhm.
the salient points. You have 3 players in. You have 3 players in the tournament. You have 2 allies.
I'm really
Yeah.
hoping to start next session with making a plan, because I feel like we've got just enough information that it's time to start making that.
I
Mhm.
agree.
And also, I know someone who might want to make plans.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Growth
Let's do growth questions. Yes. So,
All right.
oh right, it only shows my
Sure.
growth question. Where's the general ones?
Growth questions. Here we go.
Yes.
Did you learn something exciting, challenging, or complicated about the world?
Kind of. I think we're learning to compromise. At least many of us are learning to compromise. I'm not sure. Sorry?
Nothing. See, it depends on how big you consider the tower. Sure.
The tournament world counts for this section. World and/or tournament world are the two categories in
Oh,
which you can
Kui
learn something complicated, challenging, or engaging about to make it fair. Because I am explicitly cutting you off from the rest of the world. It's
Yeah.
only fair you can get growth from learning about the tournament section too.
it's crazy that they just had like extras pretending to be prisoners. Like, how much money does this guy have?
For me, Quiwa learned that sometimes to get what you want, you gotta play dirty and cut deals. Because she cut like 3 deals if you count the Wolf Kid. There was Stoneface and the Wolf Kid and like
Mm,
Pano.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
that's something complicated
He
about.
was really wheeling and dealing
Yeah.
over there with all that.
Yep.
I could go either way with Aeons. I could say that learning something about a way to get around this place with the ceilings is kind of interesting or challenging, but I'm not really convinced that that meets the answer.
I'm of the
I just
opinion that
told you
these
the
growth
fact.
questions are way too easy compared to
I
what I've
agree.
got going on.
Oh, I
Because
agree.
I don't even have an opportunity to guide and comfort anybody. So,
mm.
Because of the structure of the sessions.
yeah. I mean, and you're not really taking conditions outside of the tournament.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for me to be doing it.
ideally, structure-wise, it's going to start falling apart more
Yeah, that's why
as
I
we
did what I
approach.
did with Quiwa.
Yeah, that's the goal is that by session 5, the tournament shifts to the background of the
Well,
play structure.
what I'm looking at here is what we're 8 sessions in with Sato.
As a PC,
I've
yeah.
had 2 advancements.
Wait, 7. 7, but yes. That's still
And
fair.
everyone else was like, I can't do anything with my advancements by like session 5.
Yeah.
I think there is another side to that, though. You have more techniques than the rest of us, and we can't. We have a lot fewer techniques. I don't think it
I don't
makes
think
up for
that's
that, but I
yeah,
do
I
think
agree.
it's something.
I agree. I don't think that's a fair mechanical trade.
I agree.
Because you're right. The elder, I should be paying more attention to make sure you have the growth opportunity there, but also mechanically, you don't need to make specific actions for the other growth questions. Like, you're not tied to having to guide and comfort and make a bet. You're not tied to, like, you can learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world using a variety of moves and techniques. And the elder's growth condition being so narrow
Mm-hmm.
makes it,
It's extremely reliant on certain types of scenes to happen.
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I was searching for. It makes it, you have to have that, like, one-on-one downtime scene where someone goes to the elder for advice. And the trick is, a lot of the time, that is less valuable than doing and assess the situation.
There's also the fact that both last arc and this arc have time crunches in the narrative.
Which is confusing, that makes it hard, which is interesting, not confusing, which is interesting to me, that makes it hard to do some of the core mechanics of the game that time crunches are. But, like, time crunch is a core mechanic of the main Avatar storyline. They are explicitly on changing timetables the whole time, right?
Yeah, but with that said, it's always in the background, almost always in the background with Avatar, because the biggest time crunch is a long-term meteor one. Additionally, I think part of it is we're used to Powered by the Apocalypse games like Apocalypse World, Dungeon World, even Masks, which have I don't know how much of an influence this is, to be honest, but at least I'm used to those games. When it comes to Powered by the Apocalypse, all of them have explicit, effectively countdown mechanics for the GM prep. I don't think this game does. I haven't read the GM section, so correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't GM'd yet. But
yeah, I have not seen any sort of mechanic. I have read the GM session of the book, and there's not, like, I didn't feel like there was a lot of guidance.
there's not a lot of structure to making
Yeah,
each
there's,
session
like,
feel like an episode.
And
That's
there's the hard move, soft move thing, the structure, but that's
that's the most I saw for running the game. We got the GM's role, where they spend a pile of pages talking about that. We got a pile of pages talking about agendas for your NPCs.
But there's no the book doesn't talk about like an overarching pressure, does it?
Not that I can
no, it
see.
sort of relies on the era to do that for you. Because
Yeah.
if you're following the era structure and what should be involved because you're in the era, that sort of impresses it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should finish our last growth question before we continue this conversation.
Well,
Yeah.
we have 2 more.
Did we answer the other one? Did we stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
I don't think.
I don't
don't
think
think
the
Aeon
mob
did.
counted as a dangerous threat, but I'm not sure. Maybe
Yeah, I think I would definitely say Aeon, and if anyone
That's
has
fair.
something else that they stopped. Because your
Um,
challenge move specifically was A, risky, and B, solved the problem.
that's fair.
Mm.
Did I
So
stop a dangerous threat by helping Aeon?
I don't know if
No.
helping would count.
Okay.
You
got
gotta
it.
do a thing about it.
You may have solved the dangerous threat of me inviting them. But
I didn't think about it. That is true.
That would be
That
a
was a
community
dangerous threat.
problem.
Mm.
Um,
Does that count?
Does it feel like it does?
I
Like, I'm
wouldn't
not going to tell you
call
no.
it.
I'm not going to tell you no. Is my point here.
I would
If
say
it feels
no.
like it counts, I'm
Okay.
gonna say sure.
Yeah.
Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center?
You actually did guide me towards balance.
I'm also at my center. So
I am neither.
And I'm at my center. What? Okay.
wait, did I guide you toward your center?
You
Yeah.
guide me toward my center, yeah.
Because you pulled her back from
Restraint. You pulled
From
me
res-
away
yeah,
from
towards
restraint.
away from restraint, because that would have sent Aeon over the edge.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
Oh wait,
yeah.
didn't I shift you twice?
You
Once.
Still
shifted me
counts.
once away and once towards.
Still counts as you did it.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're at +1 -1 now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of +2 -2. And when I act on that wisdom, if I do, it will
Oh.
shift me again towards results.
Got it. Okay.
And then Quiwa will never answer her growth question as yes. Did I express vulnerability by admitting I was wrong, or that I should have listened to someone I ignored?
You just went like, I'll talk about it later, and then never did.
Later never happened. I never got the chance in the session. I was going to.
Yeah.
You seek support or guidance from others? Yes, I did.
Where does it put mine? I know mine is like, did you do something outside of protecting others or something like that? Where does it say it?
It's on
Sure.
details at the bottom center.
Oh, did you pursue a desire or a goal of your own outside of protecting others? I gave that. I wanted to win the Pai-Sho game. That's what I wanted to do.
That's
Yep,
fair.
that's not protecting others. You horribly traumatized.
And I stole his Pai-Sho tiles.
Yeah.
He probably is
I'm
afraid
feel-
of small spaces now, like developed a phobia from that.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm flipping through the GM section of this book and like they don't there's no tools. They're like they tell you what a clock is. They tell you what a flashback is.
They tell you
There's not
how
like
to
a-
run the session. They don't give you tools for prepping an arc.
Nope.
Yeah. Nope. And I don't know if it is the preferred way to play Powered by the Apocalypse games, but kind of sort of my default for running them at this point is you make a move, you make a move, you make a move, I make a move, right? Where
I
that's
don't do
what
that.
the moves.
Yeah.
That's what the. I understand that's kind of like the extreme version of the story game part of it, but honestly, the one I run the most is World of Dungeons. Like as far as Powered by the Apocalypse games go, that is the one I have run the most of. Is World of Dungeons because it's I need to whip a game out real fast. I like World of Dungeons, and I very much run that one. And the like you make a move, and then like all the players make a move, the dungeon makes a move.
Yep.
To advance the story there.
I think part of what we're seeing might actually be the ridiculous non-Avatar-y genre of this arc clashing with Sato's character more so than the rest of us.
I mean, the last 2 arcs, basically. Because here's my problem with how growth works for me. You actually have to shift your center for me to get a growth.
And that's really
And it's a 50-50 shot on which center because I have to name which way you're shifting before you shift.
Okay. And we have to be at center for you to name that?
No, all I have when I guide and comfort you, I can shift toward experience and declare you as a protege.
Yeah.
So I shift my center or shift my balance toward experience. Then I write your name and one of your principles on a line.
Mm-hmm.
When that PC shifts their center towards that principle is when I get a growth.
Okay.
So because Aeon already fell off and you already won your bet there, do you have to guide and comfort me again before my falling
Yes.
off helps?
Yep.
Okay.
And
You may add them to this list again in the same way. So basically,
next session, I think about this, Quiwa will be probably specifically coming to you, Sato, to hopefully engage with you in a scene about this kind of thing.
well, that's why I was trying to slip in your window right after Bao left, but we just ran out of time.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we'll get to that next session.
Sorry.
Yeah, but we're gonna do a little bit less of the tournament part, simply so we can actually engage some mechanics, which I understand is the correct like choice to do. But like even then, I'm still just a little bit floored because I'm flipping through like the running good adventure part 2 and stuff, and there's all of these things about crafting a scene and telling episodic stories,
Moment to moment
but
stuff.
yeah, moment to moment stuff, but there's never like any hard here's how you structure a game.
I think I know why the reason for that. I think it is because Avatar as a universe does not have a consistent structure to it. Korra is kind of a mess when it comes to structure, with individual seasons having their arc, but even the structure within each one is a bit different than each other one. Additionally, and that compare that to um, Last Airbender.
No, I agree with you that, like, yes, Avatar does not have a consistent structure, but the rules of the game, especially more so with the Elder Playbook, rely on a consistent structure to pull
Yes,
off advancement.
this is
And
true.
that balances things weird, because if players lean into being mystery solvers, there isn't a structure for it, but they're going to hit that advancement note every single time. And there's no way to stop them with the mechanic of the game from dumping too many advancements in to unbalance the game real fast.
Yep.
Because you're incentivized to do the thing. I feel
Mm.
as if, and we can talk about this more when we do the review, but to me it feels as if the game is assuming characters will not actively seek out advancement. That feels to be that they're assuming characters are going to pay more attention to advancing the story and advancing like role play elements, like be very role play heavy and advance and move the story along role play heavy wise, and not be specifically aiming to fill out their advancement chart. That doesn't feel like it doesn't feel fleshed out. It feels like a background mechanic that is like engaged with when you finish up the session, but like we aim for it, right? Like when we play games,
More
we
so than,
aim,
yeah, some other
yeah,
people.
more so than some groups, but we're specifically aiming for it, and then because we're aiming for it, it feels like it's kind of it cracks under that like pressure of trying to get them.
Yeah.
I don't think we
And
over aim for it in terms of, like, we don't try to power game
No, yeah,
this.
we're not power gaming, which is what's weird about it.
Mhm.
Like, I don't even have good stats. We don't have good stats. We're not rolling aces in the hole every time. We're just like narratively, because we played a lot of story games, we're just making sure we hit the growth beats because those are guarantees for us.
Not only
Like,
that, but
almost guaranteed we get 2 of the 4 every
yeah,
session.
not only that, but
Except
in a
for
lot of,
the Elder, which is hard.
yeah,
There's no other hard
well,
if they all
so
had hard versions of experience like the Elder does, if each playbook had a special custom hard to get advancement mechanic, the Elder would be totally fair.
if we are used to games where the end of session questions are, at least have read to us, this is what the game wants the players to do. Like Blades in the Dark is very obviously that. Like, here's 4
Yeah,
different end of session questions, and they're basically everything that the game is about in different ways. That's how I wrote Chasing Adventure. That's how Masks worked.
yeah,
Like, all of it.
totally.
Um, yeah, and
I
this
think it
game
varies a little bit on this game.
is less. It's less just about that. Like the in other games, the end of session questions could be extrapolated to that's what the entire game basically is about by summarizing those questions. That's not the case as completely with this game.
Yeah. Once again, I feel like that falls in the category of them trying to push this game into the space so it's approachable for people who have never
The
played
two
Powered by the
audiences.
Apocalypse
Yeah.
before.
You have the Avatar audience and the Powered by the Apocalypse audience.
Oh, I don't think they're aiming for the Powered by the Apocalypse audience at all.
I,
I
I,
think
I agree.
they're just aiming at people who play role playing games generally and who like Avatar. Those are their
mhm.
2 audiences. They're not people who play story games.
Which,
That's
from
not
a
that's
like
not their target.
company standpoint, I understand the pressure to sell a lot of copies of this game, and the Kickstarter was huge.
Oh, they
already.
are. They have the starter set at Target now.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Exclusively.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's a
That is
Target starter
impressive.
set with Zuko on the cover. I might go buy it.
Yep. And I think that's
No,
kind of what it's aimed for, because it has, like, the Nickelodeon branding is very restrictive for us as, like, streaming it and figuring that out, but it's also, has the benefit of the marketing and Nickelodeon branding. Like, I wouldn't be that surprised if at some point they had TV commercials for this thing on.
Well,
I'd be very
not in 2020.
curious.
Not in 2023. They're not going to have TV.
They're probably like
commercials,
YouTube ads.
but they have Facebook ads. That's the modern equivalent of toy
Mm.
commercials because
True.
people don't really like. I have not seen any YouTube ads, but like I've seen real advertisements for this. They have a real ad budget for this game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think the
But yeah,
part of the sacrifice
I'm-
is trying to make it appealing to everyone. Zen?
Oh, no, I was just gonna say I'm used to like different playbooks coming in and changing how a game works. That's a feature of Powered by the Apocalypse. Who the playbooks you choose determine how the game works.
Ooh.
But the Elder definitely throws things for a loop. Because with an Elder in the group, people need to be constantly falling off their track.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And that just means that it's going, if you played it correctly and you were aiming for advancement as much as possible and you had the opportunity to do so, every character would be jumping the shark in every episode, like losing their shit, going off balance, and it would get old and tired real quick.
Yeah, it would
I
become
mean-
it would become from
Every other
dramatic
character is
to
trying to get
melodramatic. It
yeah,
would get
become
too
melodramatic.
much.
And now that the more we talk about this is what I'm thinking about the Elder. The Elder's the Iroh character. They wanted to have an Iroh playbook.
Yes.
But when you look at the amount of times Iroh shows up in the show, he does the Elder thing every time, but it's twice a season.
Yeah. He almost isn't in the third season at all.
Yeah.
He's
He's-
in the
Well, there were
background.
other reasons for that.
Yeah, there's
That's
other
very
even
true.
in the seasons
That's very true.
where there was the full actor cast and everything, and that was a concern. He shows up twice a season to do his like actual in the show character parts, like twice a season.
Even in
He shows up, and it's like Iroh's here as something other than a background NPC.
he's mostly just in this. Even that's mostly in the second season. In the first season, I
Mhm.
think he's even less present. In a way, like he's in the background. There's the storm where he tells that random guard, like, "No, Zuko is more complicated than you think," and that's it.
Well, it's the relationship with him and Zuko is definitely where the Elder playbook comes from. Like,
Yes,
right, he's
absolutely.
constantly trying to lead him into a certain path.
And
Yep.
Zuko's constantly falling off the wagon. It's the perfect relationship.
Yeah. So
but-
I think the Elder actually needs a Zuko playbook to work well.
Yeah, even like a weapon or like one of the other playbooks from that specific. I mean, Dame is, but he technically isn't a PC for this arc. But like a playbook that is meant to just fall off the edge without it derailing the whole campaign. Often.
Yeah. I keep trying to fall off the edge. I just can't get there before like balances are shifted. I get my balance to +3 and someone walks me back. Like that has happened more than once.
Well,
I have
it's
gotten
funny
almost
because
balanced to +3. Like, all right, I get a point
Tries to walk
on
them
something
back.
if I fall off the edge, and
Yeah.
then I get walked back.
We're incentivized to walk people back because of the
Yeah,
other
no,
like,
that's I'm not
I
saying
am the
anyone.
fall off the edge playbook, but at the same
Yeah.
time, if Aeon kept falling off the edge again and again and again, he'd be kicked out of the party. He has come so close already. So it's kind of like, if I go and help Sato, I'm going to lose my character.
Anyway, I think the summary is here. It feels like a lot of these specific playbook mechanics are written in isolation, or it's like, yes, they reviewed it and edited it and looked at the Elder and said, this character matches this archetype we're trying to represent, and the same down the line, and then the cohesion seems to be where stuff is having a rub for us.
You know
And
what?
also, I think we've maxed out the time that the sessions are designed for this.
Mhm.
At 8, it feels like it's not made to be this long.
That's a
That's possible.
possibility as well.
Or
I think-
8 1-hour sessions, not 8 4-hour sessions.
I think I have a small tweak to the Elder that might fix it.
I'm good to make tweaks at this point. It's been long.
So
enough
on
for
a
the game as
10
is.
plus, when you guide and comfort, you can shift balance. If you switch that for an Elder to 7 to 9, you can shift balance. 10 plus, you can do it twice.
That feels
I like
reasonable
that.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To like patch the balance up so that when you do get a chance to guide and comfort, which is not an easy thing, because like no one can guarantee that that's going to happen, because
Mhm.
there has to be a circumstance where it's reasonable for you to guide someone. So all I can do is put pressure on other characters to make them need to seek advice.
And
There-
it makes it better
basically-
to seek advice from you than others.
There is one thing that we are neglecting slightly. You can, as an advancement, you can shift your center. At least I can.
Yeah, but then, yeah,
But
you
we don't
everyone
really-
can.
Exactly.
really want to do that.
Well, and unless you're leaning hard into that particular principle,
Yeah.
Yes.
you know.
But that would basically give Sato an advancement while still getting your advancement if you do it the right way.
Well, it uses our advancement to give.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the advancement
that's
itself
the-
will shift your center. Yeah.
That seems like stepping on other people just to get another character or something. That's weird.
Yeah, it's the Elder's playing weird, and I don't really have a good fix. We can try the buffed up old man advice power.
I'm
to
good
see
with
if
that. I mean,
balances
Yeah,
the
it makes
scales.
sense.
yeah, it
It
does.
makes narrative sense. I'm down to try it. It's just like we've been talking around about. It feels like the Elder was put in to be an Iroh character, but it's the only one that's plugged in like that. There's no other counterpart that is game changey in a way that is reflected, and there's not reflection in the rules to enforce the things that the Elder's playing off of.
Yep.
It's kind of
Mhm.
reliant, like you're saying, on having someone who's constantly falling off the wagon to make work. Someone has to want to be Zuko to the Iroh in
Yeah.
this example.
It requires a more almost sandboxy environment where the characters make their own problems rather than react to external ones, is what I would say for that to work as is. Like Masks
Yeah.
is how to me that Masks is there are fewer external pressures. Not none, but fewer.
Yeah.
At least in the Mask games I have played.
And
Marissa
you're
was
right,
privy
these-
to them.
This would work a little bit better sandboxy, but also, in my defense, there's no rule saying in the book
Oh.
that I'm supposed to run a sandbox.
I
Yeah.
know.
Like,
In
the GM
fact,
section doesn't say run a sandbox.
not only
so-
that, the growth question about stopping like a community problem or a danger goes against that too.
Yeah, it means that
Mhm.
I have to give you a problem.
Yeah. So it
But
is
yeah, so it's,
Not
complex.
a perfect game. as
Game
we're
design.
Circling around on. There are game design questions we have.
Yep.
Mhm.
definitely something that we'll try and figure out before we hit the next session.
Yep, I don't know. I'm rounding on. I like Avatar, but like this isn't my favorite Powered by the Apocalypse example.
Mhm.
we'll
I
review
like
it.
it.
but-
Yep. The problem is we got
We had
Hey,
issues
the-
with it.
the
They're
The,
not
the
the
basics
end-all,
of it are
be-all.
all good,
the
but
basics are good. Strong bones.
Very strong
but-
bones, lots of calcium.
Yeah,
But-
but sometimes, like we're at session 8, and like I don't care about getting double more advancements. Like I don't like what am I gonna do with them? The only part that I care about is like finishing my little playbook checkboxes because that's the only bit I haven't done with them yet. We've done everything else already.
Mhm.
We'll figure it out. But yeah,
Find my destiny, I guess.
we'll figure.
Moment of
Yeah,
pause.
we'll be. Are we available next week? Will we be back next week?
I should be available.
I should be.
Perfect. Then we will be back next week to continue this on
Yeah.
and rag on Avatar some more.
Yes. Magpie can't hold us down.
well, we enjoy playing it for 4 hours, then trash it a little
Yeah.
bit. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's our.
I
It's
mean,
its comeuppance.
This is session 13.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is when most Powered by the Apocalypse games come apart.
That's
Yeah,
true.
This is session 13. Like we put our time in on like playing the game. We're allowed to
True.
have comments now.
Okay, we'll be back next week then.
Mhm.